Hey there, I am your coquettish Game Master Tom, and this is episode 7 of the Inglorious Bards. Thanks for joining us. Previously, our heroes were caught up in legal trouble with the Lothian Church, but finally agreed to hand over the barrel of terrible cultist powder. The party tracked down a lead to find the Grey Ascent and decided to help out a friend whose lumberyard was being harassed by ratmen. What depths will the heroes go to guard against these rats, and will everything go just as planned? No, it will not. The adventure begins. Rain falls across a lumberyard in the dark of night. Our heroes have been watching this business for several days to keep the place safe from ratmen rumored to be in the area. The old wizard Avius sits under a tarp, failing to stay dry. Puck lies curled in a ball like a cat, sleeping next to a wire fence near one corner of the yard. Elmon is hunched down on the roof of the lumberyard, keeping an eye out for any movement on top of its office. Rain dripping down his hooded cloak. And Olgrim leans against the fence in another corner of the yard as the rain drenches him out in the open. Elmon slowly turns his head to peer through the rain and the darkness, ever vigilant of any movement. His eyes fall upon the dwarf Olgrim, who places one hand on the wire fence and looks down its length. Something in the darkness is disturbing the far end of the wire line. Elmon follows his eyeline but can't see anything. The elf grabs a block of wood and sends it spinning through the air into the side of the sleeping goblin. Puck wakes with a jolt, but instead of complaining, the goblin watches where Elmon points with his hand. Avius sits oblivious under a tarp, wringing out his robe, when the wire under Olgrim's hand snaps off and is yanked away. Something has gotten into the yard.
Something's gotten into the yard.
You guys are on almost 4 different corners, if you will, with Elmon right in the middle. It's a big, wide yard, maybe 100 yards by 60 yards type of a layout. Big piles and stacks of wood in different sections.
And time of day again?
Nighttime.
Totally.
Nighttime with some decent rain pouring down.
All right. Olgrim motions over to everyone and kind of lifts up the end of the dangling wire. Oh, no, over here.
Was I on the roof?
You're on the office, the lumberyard office's roof.
Okay.
And to your right is Olgrim, maybe about 40 yards, and he's now waving and pointing down the length of his fence. And your dark vision doesn't extend far enough to see out over there, but there's big stacks, different cuts, sizes of woods, and he's pointing over there.
Olgrim is going to start making his way towards that section.
Quick, fast, medium, weapon out, weapon down.
Weapon out, and given the rain and whatnot, he's going at a pretty good clip.
Okay.
Puck starts creeping with his spear out, but before he does that, he picks up the chunk of ash that was just thrown at him and puts it in his pack for later.
Okay.
Jeez. Oh, no.
A giant stack of ash next to him.
I'm a wood carver. It's a nice piece of molten ash.
I don't know.
Does that make you a
even
whittle goblin?
This is happening. He might.
Make a perception roll.
Okay.
The listeners who play this back would probably catch that joke.
Natural 20.
A natural 20?
Sorry.
Avius is just sitting there, obliviously wringing out his robe in the rain, and then, what?
You see the dwarf trotting along, moving. You can see him in between different stacks of logs, heading briskly with weapon out. You see Puck is creeping roughly in that direction and has a little piece of wood in his pouch. You can even identify it as ash from the distance you're at.
Wow.
And then you can see Elmon on the rooftop of the office doing what?
Creeping along also towards the towards where the wire snapped from.
Did you want to drop down and have cover of the log things, or you can even leap off on top of those logs and jump from section to section to section?
Am I already at the southern corner of the...
You're in almost the dead center of the lumberyard where the office is.
Okay. But, I mean, I'm up on the roof of the office. Yeah. If I stay there, can I get closer to where the sound came, where the wire broke from? Staying on the rooftop.
No.
Okay. Then yes, I will basically get Elmon jumps down, kind of clambers over some of the wood to get a good vantage point closer to where Olgrim is heading towards.
Okay, and again, are you staying low or are you climbing on top of it?
Both. I am keeping my head down but climbing up, but I'm not like silhouetting myself against the back. So basically I am climbing up but staying concealed while doing so.
So that's what you see, Avius. What did you want to do?
Well, in that case, Avius is going to start heading towards the direction that it looks like everyone else is triangulating while readying the web spell.
Okay.
Also, keeping an eye on
people.
Our back as well, not hyper focusing where the wire came from. Maybe they know we're here and are trying to draw our attention.
Olgrim, you are trotting along this wire fence. It's not a sophisticated thing. This isn't modern times. It's just like got 2 or 3 wires that run the length of it. Just more of a division of don't put your goods in our yard type of a thing. And the lowermost wire is the one that's been cut, and it's essentially being pulled, and you can just see it in your vision about 50, 60 feet ahead, just racing away from you as you're chasing after it, almost like a cat chasing after a string. You're running closer and closer. You're about to reach that corner of the yard. As you get there, you see there are several pieces of wood that are in disarray compared to all the nice even stacks. And you can see a hunched over figure is moving sections of these wood and doing something with them right in the corner. And the wire continues to be disappearing.
Olgrim, ignoring that figure and giving chase to whatever's drawing the wire.
Olgrim the cat.
Olgrim is going after the cat.
You can make a perception roll at disadvantage due to the darkness and rain. Well, not the darkness so much, but the rain.
But the rain?
Yeah.
9.
9. You can't see what's going on with that wire. It's essentially pulling you towards that figure. So it's the same result.
Oh, okay.
You're heading towards.
Olgrim will slow down and begin to advance on the hunched over creature.
All right. Make a stealth roll for me, if you will.
A 5.
Okay. You're sneaking around and you get within 40 feet and can identify it as some sort of thiefy dude who's lashing together several sections of wood, like 5 or 6 pieces of wood that are about maybe 6 feet in length, kind of like a 2x4 rough equivalent, but 6 feet long, and is lashing them together when he spots you. He looks up and he has weird beady eyes and a very mousy looking face with whiskers. He is not human of anyone you've seen before and has a very ratish looking face. And the wire behind him goes zipping out and disappearing off down the street. And he grabs onto whatever he's lashed together and starts pulling and pulling and going as fast as he can, which is not very fast at all.
Hold on there, you little thief.
Elmon, you are hunkering down on top of these things?
As Olgrim's been moving forward, I've been keeping pace, probably 20, 30 feet behind him, taking my vantage point, and then letting him go a little bit and then kind of racing down and popping back up on another piece of wood.
You may make a perception roll disadvantaged.
Low. 6.
6. You can't see anything at all that's going on until you get right upon the scene, so you're still making your way there. Olgrim, we'll go back to you.
Damn this rain. Trying to run up and essentially dislodge whatever this guy's trying to take.
Okay.
From his hands.
You start chasing after him. He ducks under the fence very easily. That one wire that's missing is able to duck under the medium and higher wire lines and starts pulling the wood out and starts trying to pull and scamper away. You duck under the wire quickly with a dexterity roll real fast, an acrobatics roll to be specific.
Acrobatics roll. Natural 20.
Ooh. Wow.
You don't go under the wire. You jump left onto a stack of wood and push off of that to then jump right and tumble over the wire. Land.
No one is around to see this. They don't believe these stories.
This lithe, stocky boulder of a dwarf just did that.
One-footed dwarf.
Yeah,
No doubt. You couldn't have done that with 2 feet.
tomorrow at Middlehawks. And then I jumped off the left one and then the right.
Whatever, Olgrim. Whatever.
You hit the ground limping and are chasing after this guy. He is, again, heavily laden down by this wood, barely moving at all, and it is just a dead heat race of him keeping the same pace as you are, as you're going full speed, and you can barely keep your breath's fine. You're just limping in pain with your badly damaged foot. Puck, you have arrived on the other side of the wired angle, if you will, and can see Olgrim. You don't know what he's chasing, but you just see him land. You didn't see the cool move. You just see him land. He probably just got caught in the wire and fell off. You don't know. He just lands. You see
Calm
him
down. What?
off and cursing.
Who are you? What are you?
He's about 40 feet away.
I'm gonna sprint after him then and try to go underneath where that little Ratman went. Yeah.
Okay. You're doing that. Avius, you are able to follow them as well. Elmon, you are now on the...
How far away is Avius?
You're 40 feet behind Puck, who's 40 feet behind Olgrim.
Okay.
And then Elmon, you are on the top big cord wood stack section that's right in that corner where wood had been taken. You're right on top of that. You can see Puck rolling underneath the opening in the fence, easily going through. You see Avius carefully ducking down, making sure his robe doesn't get snagged. And you can barely see Olgrim disappear into the darkness.
And I don't see what everybody's chasing.
Negative.
Right, I will continue to move much closer, seeing that there's a lot of activity descending on that spot. Taking a look around first, make sure there's nothing else, and then I'll sprint towards the action there.
Okay, make one more perception roll, disadvantage.
That would be a 10.
10. You take one last look around the lumberyard from your vantage point, then you drop down and go under the fence and give chase. Puck, you are running and running and running with your little goblin feet, and you easily catch up to Olgrim as he limps along, and about maybe 20 feet in front of him, you can see some weird, cloaked, thiefy, hunched-over small guy is dragging this pile of wood, looking back every now and again, dragging and dragging.
Thorn Whip.
Thorn Whip from 20 feet?
Yep.
Thorn Whip.
It's a 30-foot range.
Magic Whip lashes out.
A 10.
Lashes out and is blocked by the wood that he's carrying and does not hit. Olgrim, you're still giving chase, and Avius, you're closing in on the group as well.
How far is Avius away now from the wood and wood thief?
You are 20 or 50 feet away.
Then Avius would like to cast his web.
Oh, casting web.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I have a bad feeling about this.
Stop you!
Burning a big spell.
Hold it right there! And it just, it goes.
It just happens. What's the range?
60.
60 feet is where you create a 20-foot.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Splat! Webs just appear around and underneath.
No!
You're not quite there.
You're just
outside.
You're just
but I
outside
can't
the
stop.
That's the catch.
Just dig that peg leg in the ground and...
Webs splatter down, and it coats the wood that this creature's carrying, the creature itself, and it gets a chance to roll about this, doesn't it?
It does.
What does
it
it
gets
roll?
a dex save. 14.
It rolled an 8. No, it just didn't see it coming at all. Caught all up in this web, and so it's stuck. Puck, you come to immediate stop as the web slams down in the ground right in front of you. Olgrim, you take a little bit of your last remaining big toe touches of the web. You're moderately caught in it. You can make a dexterity save to avoid it with advantage.
Oh, with advantage.
Oh, you got it.
Of course it rolls over. I'm guessing a 9 does not beat his 14.
With advantage?
With advantage.
Oh, advantage. Sorry, so 8, 19.
Yeah,
It works. You're fine. You are not caught up in the web. And Elmon, you now join the group. So the four of you are roughly together. There is a splat of grayish web that is trapped and just draped over the wood that's being stolen and draped over this creature. And Olgrim, you can still see your prize off in the distance of a thin wire disappearing down the road. It's not in any way connected to this guy.
That's what Olgrim's figuring on here. Do you have this, Puck? I'm gonna go after that. And I start charging off towards the wire.
All right, you start hobbling around the web area and charging after it. Got it.
He put me in charge, guys.
Jesus.
Elmon seeing Olgrim going off and kind of pointing to the wire, hopefully seeing that as well. I will take pursuit. I give Puck a little salute, and he's in charge, and then promptly run away.
Okay. That leaves Puck and Avius here to contend with this creature. It is struggling in the web. What would you guys like to do?
Calm down. What? Who are you? What are you?
The creature says nothing, but it spins around and kind of hisses at you. And it is a rat man. You don't know if you've ever seen one before, but this definitely is a rat man.
Is this ratman armed?
This rat man has a large dagger sheathed at his side. He is currently not trying to pull on it because it's coated in web. And actually, he'd like to try and make a strength roll to pull free of it. Does he have a strength check he needs to make?
It's same as the dex, 14.
All right. He rips free in a panic, leaves the wood, tears off, and is now essentially running in the same direction he was going, and he's absolutely parallel of Olgrim on his left side about 20 feet and Elmon on his right side about 20 feet, and he is still just 20 feet away from Puck and Elmon. He's just on the other side of the
Japanese animation dashing through the woods there.
So Puck and Avius, you still have an option to go.
Avius tries to yell out in deep speech.
Okay.
To stop or something.
Nothing happens.
Okay.
Puck's gonna use the thorn whip again.
Oh, good. Go for it.
Jesus, 9.
9. You whip again and you slice up some web, and that's about it. Elmon and Olgrim, what would you like to do? You got this guy who's in between you, running in the same exact direction, and you, Olgrim, can still see this wire going down the road. This is more road proper with a couple shops and homes. And Elmon, you have no idea what he's seeing. You're just trusting in him that he hasn't gone mad.
I'm going to motion that I'm going to follow the other, the actual rat person that we see.
You're motioning to Olgrim?
Yeah, basically that I'm...
Can I even see that?
Yeah, so you guys are about 40 feet apart, and in between you is this rat guy, all running together.
I give a nod so as not to give away or startle the creature, and I will keep beelining down this wire.
Okay, then Elmon, what are you doing?
Elmon is chasing the rat person and falling back like he's winded and not able to keep up, basically trying to get to a point where the rat person will believe that he has eluded Elmon while Elmon's still aware, if I can manage that. I want to see where he goes to ground at.
Okay.
To see, to try and figure out where their lair may be.
All right. You are easily able to feign slowness and keep speed with him because his speed is not even as fast as you.
Okay.
And he is going in the direction where the wire is, so he's essentially keeping this parallel course with Olgrim as they go.
And I'm, can I occasionally shoot an arrow, but just kind of just directional, more just again trying to spook him more than actually anything else.
Sure.
Not actually trying to hit him.
Yeah. You fire an arrow, across his bow.
Yeah.
And it clatters against the street, and he responds by totally changing course and doing a hard right and heading towards a storefront.
Okay.
You're kind of in a wide avenue at this point. Avius and Puck, what would you guys like to do?
Puck will take chase after Olgrim.
Okay.
Avius is going to dispel the web and try and
He's just there with a broom and a squeegee, clean it up.
Try and lug this wood back to the lot.
That will be quite the endeavor for Avius, but it is possible. All right. Got it. Cleaning things up. Olgrim, you are running after this wire, and you see it is disappearing around a bend in the avenue and disappearing down an alley.
Okay.
And you give chase. You can hear Puck some distance behind you yelling that he's on his way. And then you also hear glass smashing behind and to your right as you see Elmon some distance behind you, a little surprised, and you believe his target has just jumped into a storefront.
Crazy rats. And I'm still on it. And I keep charging for the
wire?
For the wire.
All right. Elmon, your guy has just dived right into a kind of a fruit vegetable store that's closed down for the night and just smashed right on through the window. Is tumbled over. You can see cabbages and things from yesterday that aren't the freshest are getting scattered and kicked out the window, and you hear him scampering. Imagine just a pissed off giant rat thrown into the pantry.
Yeah, continue pursuing, leaping through the window.
All right, make an acrobatics roll.
9.
9! You get squashed by a squash. You slipping in all sorts of goopy stuff, and it's not the most graceful thing. And you see this rat man come lunging at you as you're slipping on this. He comes right at you with his dagger. With a... double check. 17.
Oh, that'll hit.
You've been hit for 4 points of piercing damage. As he stabs you.
All right. My response would be to finally, I guess, go aggressive and go ahead and shoot him with an arrow.
All right. You're point blank, so do a disadvantage.
That's fine. It would have been a natural 20, but as with disadvantage, it's only a 23.
Okay.
Yeah, 23.
All right. You not only hit him, you shoot the small cabbage he was about to throw at you as well.
Uh-huh.
And what's your damage?
It's going to be 6.
The cabbage explodes.
But he also gets a second arrow because I'm going to get my second attack in there as well. Which is going to be a 14.
14 to hit?
Yes.
Is a hit.
And now, query, he's now wounded. Do I get Colossus now?
You do.
Oh, good God.
Colossus bonus damage.
That's going to be 19 points of damage.
All right, the first shot brought him down to within 1 hit point. It dropped down, it winces, it gets back up, ready to fight for its life, and it's just dead. Just shot a second time, goes spinning and tumbling around. You can hear some startled people upstairs. Oh no, go, and some...
They shot Timmy!
I'll leap back out through the window.
All right, you're just not going to deal with that.
Yeah.
You throw him a silver and run.
Olgrim, in the frustration of all this running, all this panting, and just soreness of his leg, he just finally realizes he just reach down, grab the wire, and just give it a good yank.
Not there yet. You're not close enough. Good idea. It's always like 30 feet in front of you, just teasingly there. This is like a dream where you just can't catch it.
I'm thinking it's like one long piece that's being run along.
It's attached to you.
Moving a lot faster than I should.
Around the building, you've done laps. He'll be tuckered out by tomorrow. Olgrim, you chase after this wire. It disappeared in the alley. You go down that alley and you see something. What do you see? You see the wire disappear into the street itself of the alley. Rain is pooled over there, and as you get close and come to a stop, it has disappeared down a metal grate in the floor.
Oh, great.
Ah,
Eh.
And
But
Puck, you're right behind him, just coming in the alley. You see him staring at the ground.
What are you looking at?
Query's gone to ground. We'll have to go hunting now. Glad I didn't have my full breakfast. I don't think I'll be able to squeeze into this. And I start fiddling with the grate itself to just pry it free and get it up.
You pull and pull and pull, and it does not seem to want to budge until you realize you were pulling on the hinge side of it, and it's actually easily movable, and it comes swinging up. There's a lock section that's just completely missing and hasn't been there for a long time, and the whole grate swings right up. You see a hole descending down in, lined with bricks, and then metal rungs of a ladder that are bolted onto the side.
Oh, these things could be squirrely. What do you think, Puck? Are we going in?
Heck yeah.
All right.
Before we go in,
So we're not going.
Puck wants to do some druidcraft in place a magical mark on the grating for our friends.
Okay.
oh.
What is the mark?
How does this work?
It'll be
Tiny elven penis as your
yes.
mark.
No, it'll be a panther paw.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah,
All right.
and marked on the grate so
Okay.
they know where we went.
I'm glad we changed the mark.
Yeah, there were too many tiny penises around.
Stop marking that. Just inappropriate.
All right, who's going down first?
That would be Olgrim.
I'll follow right behind.
Olgrim and Puck bravely descend down into this tunnel, going down each rung. Elmon, what did you want to do?
I'm going to go back out and search for my friends.
All right. You can hear them talking barely off in the distance in the rain and can see them. You can see Puck smiling at you as his head descends down into the floor.
All right.
And then Olgrim climbs back.
Making a mental note of where they went down, I'm going to go collect the wizard.
All right, and back to Avius. You've got the wood about maybe 4 feet from its previous location. Pulling hard.
This wood is much bigger than I'm used to handling.
Just one piece at a time. You're still on the first piece there.
Avius gives up on that endeavor and goes back to the lumberyard and wants to kind of look around and investigate, see if he can determine if there's a certain type of wood, length of wood.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so you're heading back to the lumberyard. As you're there and making count of things, you don't see anything unusual. Appears to have been just the closest big stack of wood. A lot of it in this area is very similar, just different shapes and sizes. And as you're counting things and trying to plan things out, and you got like trigonometry equations of, well, why was this taken? And how did the elf comes up to you from behind and says,
Puck and Olgrim. Hello. Sorry. Puck and Olgrim went into the sewers, I think. We should probably go follow them.
Why did they go into the sewers?
We'll have to go find them to ask them.
Very well. Let's go.
I put down the wood that I carried in.
you carry all of it in the time. All right, you guys head back off to join your friends. Your friends, meanwhile, Olgrim and Puck, you descend down iron rungs bolted to a brick wall onto a small ledge that overlooks a sewer tunnel. You are immediately hammered by the awful smell of rotting filth and raw sewage, almost overpowering the rest of your senses. Eyes start to water for a little bit, that kind of sensation. A short staircase descends down the edge of the sewer tunnel that extends forward a short distance. The tunnel itself is about 16 feet wide, with a 10-foot channel running down the middle and a 3-foot ledge on each side, with a couple-foot drop down into that channel. And the tunnel goes out. You're essentially on a side tunnel, and it's heading towards the more larger main artery tunnel of the sewer up ahead. The walls are made of small bricks that are lined in perfect unison. There's arches everywhere. When the couple arches meet, it even has that cool, like almost cathedral style look. Definitely was constructed years ago during the height of the Imperial expansion. Metal pipes extend out from the ceilings and the walls every 20 feet or so and spilling liquid or worse into the channel.
Any sound from the running of the wire that can be heard?
Can't hear a sound. You can just hear lots of gloop, gloop, and splashes, and you can hear some running water, and I'm doing quotes with water ahead down the tunnel.
I'll try looking for some sort of tracks for Olgrim to find and follow.
Make a survival roll.
Today is the day for it. An 8.
An 8. You have no idea what you're looking for. No clue.
Does Puck see anything?
You can also make a survival roll.
10.
10. Guys, your tracking here is not good. There might be prints, but they're
tracking is really shitty.
Yeah. Where's the elf?
Well, I don't know. Imagine they'll be along soon. Can't imagine he's too excited to come down in the sewers with us. Well, we go. Holy shit.
You gonna hold up there, or are you gonna proceed on for speed and not lose things?
Going to proceed on.
Yeah.
Moving down the tunnels to the right.
Oh, you have to go straight. That's
you have to go straight? Going straight.
All right, you're going straight. You reach a T intersections where your tunnel ends. The T intersection is the main artery of the sewer that you arrived at. The liquid in the channel is flowing downstream from right to left, with darkness extending beyond your view of your dark vision. To your left, you can see there's a rat scurrying over, not a rat man, but just a rat scurrying over a body that's lying on the ledge. And to your right, you hear a constant splash of liquid falling from a small height. Elmon, you have arrived at the bottom of this rung, the terrible smell hitting you. And Avius, you are coming down the ladder just above him.
Avius, when he gets down to the bottom of the ladder, wants to use a prestidigitation spell.
Okay. What are you going to cast?
I'm just going to create some sort of potpourri floral scent.
Where's it centered?
In my pocket, of course. My robe pocket. That way it can waft.
In his mustache.
That's even a better spot.
All right. It starts to smell great. More woodsy poop than normal poop.
It's like pine salt.
Pine salt sewage.
And Elmon, you can see your friends are up ahead and looking around.
Trot that way.
Okay. You guys have caught up. The four of you are together. What do you want to do?
Is this a fresh body that the rat's getting after?
You don't know. You haven't gone near it, so you can go left.
Oh, yeah. I want to go to the body.
Oh, okay.
This is where I chased the bit of wire. I don't know what was pulling it, but I imagine it was taken to someplace that we should investigate.
So you guys the three of you are at this intersection. Puck's just gone off a little bit of distance, checking out the body. To the right, you can still hear this weird falling liquid sound and just darkness extending off in the direction. And Avius, you can't see.
Avius lights a torch.
All right.
Ah! Oh, very bright.
Wait a minute, we're in a sewer!
How do we... No! I don't know what's worse. Do we go where the stuff is coming from or where it's going?
Avius wants to look around for tracks, trails, a little squiggly...
No, I wouldn't touch that.
Would indicate wire being
Elmon
pulled
kind
through
of
the sewage.
look over Avius's shoulder to...
All right.
While he's doing it to try and help out.
You guys can both make survival rolls.
Survival. What about investigation?
Now this one's going to be survival. For track.
12.
19.
All right. Pot, you see it is a body of someone who has leather clothing on them, but it wasn't necessarily leather armor, and had a pack with some construction tools, most of which have been taken. A few have been scattered around. All that's left of them are clean bones. And there's a note also in their bag. And as you grab the note, you can read it.
Yes, please.
It reads, bring brick and mortar, get Chasson's basement sealed back up, and you'll be paid triple your rate. Take longer than tonight to do it, and he'll slit your throat and find someone else. Bring brick and mortar, get Chasson's basement sealed back up, you'll be paid triple your rate. Take longer than tonight to do it, and he'll slit your throat and find someone else. And as you read that and you're trying to figure out what that means, 15 giant rats pour out of pipes and splash out and come racing right at you. 10 right all around Puck. 5 more on the far ledge splat out of there and then drop into the moving sewage and are swimming towards Puck. And Puck, you are in a world of hurt right
These
now.
are just like rats?
These are not rats. These are giant rats.
Okay.
Maybe dog size.
Like ROUSs?
Yes. Yes, indeed.
Like what?
ROUSs. Rodents of unusual size.
I'm going to fire Ice Knife in the middle of this pack.
Okay. You are in the middle of this pack.
Oh, they're all around me?
They have just swarmed you, coming out of the wall and the ceiling and the pipes all around you. Let's go ahead and roll initiative. Let's do that. That sounds like a great idea.
How far away are we from Puck?
You guys are maybe just 20 feet away.
Okay.
All right. And one of the rats is going to go, and it is going to gobble up Puck.
They're basically the same size as Puck.
He's just a little bigger than that. Yeah, you're almost eye to eye with these guys.
Oh, good God.
Almost eye to eye. He is attacking you. And he has advantage because they do employ pack tactics, one of my favorite abilities.
Great.
Giving a bonus if it's one of his allies is within 5 feet of you. And he, I'm pretty sure, hits you with a 22 for 4 points of piercing damage. Next up is Elmon.
I will take first couple arrows come streaking out at the rats.
Okay, fire away.
All right, first one is going to be a 14,
Is a hit.
and that is going to be for 8 points of damage.
All right, you have slain a rat.
All right, and another one that is in melee range to Puck is going to take another arrow, and that's going to be a modified 25 or so.
Okay.
And then that will take 10 points of damage.
You have slain a second rat. 2 are immediately down. 2 more rats, though, are surrounding you, Puck, and are just biting and getting just nasty. One of them gets a critical hit. The other one absolutely hits you. Puck is still getting mauled. You take 4 points of piercing damage and 6 points of piercing damage.
Whoa. Jesus.
Torn, teeth just tearing out chunks. It's just a nightmare of rats come to life. And someone else gets to go. Who
Why
is
did
it?
it have to be rats?
Oh, it didn't have to be right.
It's Puck.
I'm gonna take wild shape and turn into a bear, a big grizzly bear. Like the biggest damn grizzly bear you've ever seen.
All right.
And then I'm gonna just claw attack, just like
Does changing shape take an action?
no,
It's a bonus?
It's a bonus.
Wow, that's handy.
I'm pretty sure.
Nice.
Let me double check. Oh no, I'm sorry. It does take an action.
Okay. So you morph and grow in size to this giant black bear, you said?
A grizzly bear.
Grizzly bear. And go ahead and make an intimidation roll, please. With advantage.
9.
9. You roar like crazy, but that was second before you polymorphed into the bear. And then you turned into the bear, and it didn't scare anyone at all. All right, you your turn's done unless you wanted to move, but you've got like 5 all on top of you and around you. We get lots of opportunity attacks.
Nope, I don't get any. I can disengage. Oh, probably not as the bear.
As the bear.
Yeah. No, I'm good.
All right.
You should have changed into a giant rat. Be like, I'm with you.
If I could have, I would have.
The 5 rats that are swimming are now getting very, very close to Puck as well. And
are they on the other side of Puck than we are?
So you guys are all, you're in the main artery, and you're all on the same ledge. And 5 of them started on the other side and have swam across. And now they're just a couple feet away from Puck, still in the muck.
Okay.
Olgrim's just not happy being out of place. He is.
Puck, I've got a 16 and a 15.
No, they
Both hit?
Yeah.
And an 8. So you take 8 points of more piercing rat biting damage. And another guy misses. And Olgrim, you're up.
Finally! I'm coming, Puck! Olgrim makes a mad dash to Puck. I don't know how far I am away.
You're 20 feet away.
Okay, then I am expending that move and getting alongside Puck.
With a leap, you leap over your channel from your side tunnel to get to the other side and are running along his ledge. You are now pretty close to Puck. Between you and Puck are about 5 of these rats just chomping and gnawing away at him.
Well, let's see here. And then I will slash out at one of the rats.
Okay.
With a... Forgot my new adjustments here. 14.
Is it hit?
8, now 11 points of damage.
11 points of damage is a kill.
Fantastic. I'm going to follow that up with a maneuver. The maneuver is maneuvering attack. Since the creature's already dead, I'm just spending the die. I won't need to roll it. It would typically get added to the damage, but it allows Puck to move without incident away from this macabre, brutal fight scene.
How far does he get to
He
move?
gets his full movement.
His full movement?
Full movement.
Wow.
Allows you to move them into a more advantageous position. That creature can use its reaction to move up to half its speed. Sorry, without provoking any opportunity attacks.
That's fantastic. So that's 15 feet, and Puck, you were able to throw off these rats that are all over you.
Wait a minute. I have to... reading the rest of this is what's key. From the target of the attack, so he's not protected from everyone. So... I don't know if I saw who attacked last, but...
He's got like 6 still on him, so...
6 don't... Well, I can prevent one of them.
Okay.
Not all of them.
Do you want to move then, Puck, or not? You're gonna get...
I'll disengage.
This is not your turn. Do you want his ability to trigger to let you move? You will be opportunity attacked about 5 or 6 times.
No.
Okay. Olgrim, go ahead and roll that damage die nonetheless, please.
All right. Rolling nonetheless.
What was your...
Adding 4.
What was your total damage?
It was now 15.
15. You killed not 1 but 2. You cleave through 1 and slew another.
Perfect.
And
spinning around, I go in for my second attack. And I will use that die. Mighty again, another huge 11, hitting with the 17.
Is a hit.
And doing 11 points of damage.
11 points of damage is also a hit, and a wound to a second creature.
Ooh.
Where's he at? He's there.
Oh, that's brutal.
And 11, you said?
11 points of damage, yes.
Nice. Hacking away back and forth. Rat chunks are going flying. But as you hack those off, the ones in the water are now climbing in and replacing them. And they are climbing up, and one is going to bite, and it's going to bite at Olgrim. It has advantage and got a 15.
It will not succeed.
It's clawing at your shield, getting nowhere whatsoever. And Avius, you are last.
Whee! Avius is gonna do...
Quick, Puck, get behind my shield.
I'm gonna do arc lightning. How many rats are there right now?
There's like 10.
Okay. I'm gonna do arc lightning. Let's do it a second level. Lightning.
Ooh. Just a second level.
Just a second. So we're only gonna use 4 darts.
And how are you doing this? How are you spreading them out?
The 4 closest.
So you're doing 1 to 4.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I needed to know.
Yep.
Got it.
All right. So we have a 3,
Okay.
a 5, a 5, and a 4.
5, a 5, and I heard a 4. You wound one, and kill the one that Olgrim had wounded earlier. And that leaves 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Count again. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There are 9 rats remaining, and Elmon, you're up.
And this was lightning goodness, all just streaking.
There's
through.
lightning just zapping and zapping, making the smell even more foul around you and just nasty. Squeeze.
Should have this ozone effect, where it cleans the air.
So is Puck still in melee range of multiples of them?
Yes, he is.
Okay. And I'm 20 feet away, correct?
Yep.
I'm just going to basically run into melee range, so I'm also a target to try and dissuade some of the ones attacking Puck, and I'm going to take 2 shots at 2 of the ones that are attacking on top of Puck, hoping my aim is true.
All right, so you got a couple challenges. The biggest of is that the ledge is only 3 feet wide, and so between you and Puck's protection is the dwarf.
I will leap him over him.
Okay, that'll put you right next to the rats then.
Okay.
And then you need to make this. You don't need to make a roll. This is just going to be difficult terrain, so it's going to slow you down by half to weave around.
I'm not affected by difficult terrain.
Oh, because you're a ranger.
Correct.
I ignore what I just said. With crazy nimbleness. He's running along like half his feet are along the edge, just about to fall in. You have no idea how he's staying.
He's doing the parkour up the wall.
It's just crazy. You go past Olgrim and are now his shield with your bow out, and you're firing with disadvantage into these rats. Go for it.
Crazy Elmon.
Natural 1 to start.
Splash.
Hold on for that one right there. So you fire.
Oh, God.
And your arrow misses because Olgrim was just grabbing onto your elbow. It's like, hey, good job, this game. No, stand back. I'll get it. And as he does that, you elbow Olgrim. Stop, I'm trying to shoot. And Olgrim, you need to make an acrobatics roll as you were thrown.
Why am I doing
balance.
this? It's his one. Acrobatics.
Yes.
The group must pay.
5.
With a 5, Olgrim goes, wah, wah, and you go backwards into this terrible.
What I get for opening my mouth.
Terrible gunk. And it's liquidy. You can feel some texturized stuff. It's not pleasant at all.
Texturized.
Looking back, just you just love this stuff, don't you? Just take my second shot.
You have a second shot.
Right.
As you knock him in.
You knock him in and don't take a second shot.
I want to use my superiority die and parry whatever's coming at me in the water.
21 to hit with 9 points of damage.
Is a kill. You kill one
and going after one of the ones that are not wounded.
All right, and Olgrim, as he fires that shot, our camera view kind of thing can see you floating by, parallel him. Do you say anything as you go floating by?
I'll just stay here. I'm comfortable now.
It's warm.
It's getting warmer.
Bathwater.
One of the rats is attacking you, Puck. These are the ones that are on your side. So there's half of them are on your far side, half are between you and Elmon. He has advantage because of pack tactics. You are hit for 4 points of piercing damage, and then you're up, Puck.
So this bear has multi-attack.
Ooh.
So I got to do 1 bite attack and 1 claw attack. So I'm going to bite at the one nearest me.
Okay.
An 8.
An 8? You have no idea really what you're doing with this weird bite. You're biting where Puck would bite, not where the bear would bite. So you're snapping and miss.
Okay, so then a claw attack.
Claw! Good luck.
A 20.
Total of 20?
Yep. 8 damage.
Is a hit and a kill. You claw and swipe out half of the rat's midsection as it rears up to claw you. You swipe it off, and a big chunk of it just goos Olgrim as he floats on.
Oh.
What did I do?
Elmon, however, you've got some rats that are attacking you.
All right.
They also have pack tactics and critical hit for 6 points of piercing damage.
All right.
Crawling and clawing at your leg, and then a second one does the same thing with a 17
That'll hit.
for 4 points of piercing damage. Olgrim, you have a turn. You can just kind of relax and float like an old guy in a swimming pool, or...
No, so Olgrim tries to find his footing in this goo and move over to the edge of the...
Hold on, let me just stop you right there. It's about 8 feet deep.
I thought it was only like 2 or 3.
No, it's about 2 or 3 foot drop to it, to the top, and then it's a big 8 foot
Ew.
drop. And,
Gross.
And normally it's not that deep, but there's been lots of rain, and so it's...
But oddly enough, there's still a firm bottom that you can touch. I try swimming to the edge.
Okay.
And grabbing one of the tails of these giant rats, yanking him into the pond.
Make an athletics roll. Make an athletics roll with advantage, please. Actually, scrap that. Totally sorry. You're going to counter that with your chainmail that you're wearing, your chain shirt, so it's just a regular roll.
Is a 23?
Okay. You easily swim and roll, and you easily you're floating past Puck now, and you're next to the few rats that are remaining on his far side, if you will. And you can grab onto 2 tails, one in each hand. What do you want to do with that?
I brace my feet up on the edge and yank and bring them both in with me.
All right. They squeal and go flying into the muck with Olgrim. Another rat is turning on Elmon. Another 22. A rare 11. And a critical hit. Elmon, you're just getting torn apart for a total of 10 points of piercing damage. You essentially bravely dove in there, point blank fired, and then just you get mauled by this wave of giant rats.
That's absolutely my intent, because they're not attacking Puck anymore.
And then the next rat is busy squealing and is going to make a strength roll and critically fail and be drowned by Olgrim. Oh.
That's a terrible way to die.
Avius, you're up.
So there's 3 rats around Elmon?
Elmon has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rats next 5 rats next to him.
And then how many are around Puck?
There.
There's 1 on the far side of Puck.
Oh. All right, so let's do...
Got their attention.
We'll do 2nd level Arc Lightning again.
Okay.
Directed towards the rats around the Elmon.
All right.
Elmon! Hold still!
This is 1 to each?
Yep.
Okay.
3, 2, 5, 3.
Oh, that 2 was perfect. 3, 2, 5.
3.
That is a kill, a bad wound, and a light wound. 2 more rats go sizzling and squealing.
I can't say anything because I don't want anything in my mouth.
The remainders of the rats are scattering to the 4 winds. You guys can engage them if you want. They will be not taking any turns this round.
Yeah. Puck's gonna bite one in half.
Elmon is first.
Sure. I mean, let's put an arrow into it.
All right, couple ones coming our way.
Yeah. Let's see, 9 to 12.
12 is not a hit. 12 hits.
10 damage.
This is a kill.
And the second one is going to be a 15
There's a hit.
with 11 damage.
There's a kill. 2 die as they run.
There's 1 left.
There is 2. I have 2 left.
They together?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna go after and bite one of them.
This bear is just barreling down on them.
12.
12 is a hit.
6 damage.
You bite into it and wring it left and right, left and right, left and right like a dog with a chew toy and spit it out.
And then we're going to go a claw attack.
Last rat survives.
13
is a hit.
3 damage.
He has 4 hit points, so he has 1 left. You rake him and claw him, and this bloody rat goes scurrying off. Olgrim, you have an action if you want. You're still floating with a dead rat in your... both are dead, actually.
Both are dead.
Yeah.
I'm trying to clamber up onto the edge where Puck is at.
All right. The biggest challenge right now is just the lip of the ledge being so high up from the surface of the goo. Make it athletics roll straight.
Athletics straight is 12.
You are grabbing on the ledge, and it's just going to take some time. You're pulling yourself up. Avius, you want to do anything special? The last rat's just heading towards the tube pipe to disappear.
No.
Okay.
I'll just try and help someone up with my staff. I'll try and help Olgrim up with my staff. Olgrim here! Grab this!
It goes bing! What?
And everyone is back on the ledge, safe and sound, catching their breath, and there's just a whole bunch of dead rats you're kicking off the ledge.
Elmon walks up, slaps Olgrim on the back. Sorry, buddy. And accidentally knocks him back in the way.
I go over to Puck and kind of just very, very reassuredly just kind of run my hand down his fur, considering he's still in this grizzly mode.
Mm-hmm.
And I go, well, what do you know? It doesn't stick.
Puck kind of grimaces at the dwarf. Bares his teeth a little.
We kind of just got our asses kicked by a bunch of rats.
I try and clean up and... Oh, I'm not wounded at all.
No, you and Avius are fine. Elmon and Puck kind of took a couple.
Took the brunt of it.
Don't be so quick to say that.
7-point sepsis damage.
I need
exactly.
Elmon to make a Constitution saving throw for being in that muck.
All right.
Sorry, not Elmon. Olgrim. One day I will get the name straight. That was my one.
It's just me that you...
I know.
We're only on our 7th episode now. I mean, you said a Constitution
saving throw.
And versus what specifically?
I'm not telling you.
Oh, well, deal with a 24.
Oh, you swallowed a bunch of that stuff, and you do not care at all. Your body is resistant to that.
Alrighty.
Nice. Okay.
It's the first time I open my mouth and just this goo.
There's stuff stuck in your teeth.
It's in the beard.
Oh, gross.
You're pulling chunks out of your eyes with a mud mask. Oh.
I think I'm going to throw up.
I said it was good for the skin.
Is it cheese whizzing again?
Cheese whizzing.
All right. You can keep going down this side where where this rat went. And it continues on, and this continues on more downstream, where you can head back upstream, where there was a sound of water.
What do we do about these wounds? Can't have you traveling down here and get infected and die in a day. Are we okay to travel?
I think Puck needs some healing here. And I will walk over and...
They're playing chicken with cure wounds. I know. Like, who's going to cast it?
I will cast a first level Cure Light Wounds on Puck. Plus your spellcasting.
Cured on your... do it to yourself. I'm just going to write out this wild shape form until I have to go back to Puck. Because you're going to be healing the bear, not Puck.
Yeah, he's a different beast, literally, now.
Okay.
Cast it on yourself, please.
I will cast Cure Light Wounds on myself.
You're still a badly beaten bear.
That's all right. As soon as he goes below, I go back to...
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So I heal 5 points of damage.
All right.
Okay. All right. I had done a tracking before, and had succeeded rather well.
Right.
And we had not calculated the result of that, so...
Good remembrance. Yeah. You can see not rat, but bigger rat-manish footprints that are continuing downstream along this ledge.
Pointing that out to the rest of the group.
They still don't see it.
Just like really getting in there.
It's right there, right?
Tired of looking down.
You do a plaster cast of it. They still don't see it.
Still looking sullenly at this pseudo dwarf shaped blop that's in the water moving.
It's a poop angel.
I made that. Don't touch it.
Oh, and then also don't forget there's this giant fat grizzly bear on the ledge as well, blocking the path.
Oh, yeah. Don't.
I can't. It look like it could be ridden.
Yeah, I was going to do that later.
You can always try.
Yeehaw! I'll point the direction the ratmen went, kind of looking at Olgrim.
He went downstream?
Down this way.
Yeah. Aye.
All right.
You
I'll
guys
start marching on. Definitely in first position, Olgrim is.
All right, it is a little bit of a challenge. I'm going to need you to make a acrobatics roll as you wedge and shimmy around this giant bear. It's only a 3-foot ledge.
Should I just say screw it and just jump in?
And just float down the other side.
The bear can go first. You can go behind the bear.
You can go
Yeah,
first.
let's do
All right,
that.
So you try and get around the bear, and after like a couple minutes, you're like, just damn it, just go.
I'm not comfortable with him trying to, and especially in his current
How long does
state,
this last?
He's going to get some. He's going to get something stuck to me.
All right, you continue following the flow of the liquid. There are pipes again as you're passing every now and again that you're making sure there's no rats that are sneaking out. None that you've spotted.
Who else is in the mood for lasagna?
You see some pipes that drip water and drip water and drip water, and then they might unload some big glop of something, and then more fresh liquid comes out. Again, the smell almost at this point is neutral until fresh new aromas come floating by, but you've almost gotten used to it.
I smell cake.
It's in my pockets.
Oh, okay.
And I need a perception roll for any bear can roll perception right now. Any and all bears.
I take off my arm.
Did we agree that
Open up your grinder app.
If it's not on the animal, it's you.
Okay. 13.
Okay. 13 is not good for time-wise. Who's behind you?
That's got to be Olgrim.
Well, you also then can have a chance to make a perception roll.
Standard perception roll.
This is just timing more than anything.
I should have these numbers memorized by now. The number is 16.
16. Olgrim, as you're walking behind the bear, you hear a squeak of a rat to your right across the channel, and you look, and it's just a normal rat, just making his way in the opposite direction. And then you hear a loud metal thud up ahead where you're traveling. And in the darkness up ahead, beyond your dark vision, you hear this thud of metal, just this big chong, as though someone dropped some big single block of iron or something like that.
What was that? And I'm poking at Puck to get his attention. You see anything up ahead? Why do you have to be so big? Sorry, I don't have a problem with that. Should I go around?
You continue forward, and as you get there, you see the tunnel does a big 90-degree bend. There's a couple side tunnels that are pouring some water and goop down into, but the main tunnel with the ledges does a 90-degree bend, and then some smaller ones that can fit like a person hunkering. There's small side tunnels are off on the side. And dead ahead at that 90-degree bend is a metal door into the wall, and the door appears to rise up to open, not swing open, rises up, and it is stuck a third of the way up. And you see two, not one, but two rat men, one with a bundle of wire wrapped in a cloth thrown over his back, his big prize. Two of them go running out from underneath that door, scampering, and then diving into one of these smaller side tunnels that go slightly up. And this is a dry one, so they can get up pretty easily.
Do you feel like they've seen us, or?
You don't know. They're just fast and going. They didn't look. No idea.
What do you make of that? Nobody chasing them?
Yeah, Puck starts
barreling down on them.
Mm-hmm.
As you do, you go running and running and running after them. After a few moments, just as you get towards their tunnel that they've gone into, a huge splash and wall of water comes down their tunnel. Ooh. And comes blasting you. You stop short, fall back so you don't get knocked into the main channel, and just a mass of liquid is just pouring down this tunnel, and they are not coming out of it. They did not get washed out.
Okay. Looking at that metal door that was partially up, can the bear put some oomph into it and open it the rest of the way?
Ooh, possible. It's not quite a great grip for you. Make a strength roll disadvantage. The bear climbs over to the side and starts grabbing and pulling at this door, wedging his head in and lifting up.
10.
And just cannot get any good leverage.
Is this flow still coming? Or?
Yeah.
Going to wait a bit and see. Well, is it like a full, like the full tunnel is just there, or is it just like really?
Yeah, it's the full tunnel. So it's a small tunnel that a tall person like Elmon or Avius would have to hunker down and go through, type of a deal. And the dwarf and goblin, you guys could just walk through. And so it's just a lot of that's just pouring. The whole, like, 80-90% of it's just filled up and just pouring through.
Try to wait it out a bit.
Okay. Elmon, Avius, you want to do anything?
Avius wants to cast web. No, just kidding.
It's all that's down in the sewer. It's just poop and webs.
The door, that's a third open, is it like enough for us to all get through if we want to?
No, the bear would not be able to make it.
Okay. Can I help the bear try to lift the door?
You can try and lift the door.
Okay.
Make a strength roll.
17.
You scoot the bear out of the way. It snarls at you. You back up. The bear moves aside. You get in there. You get some leverage. You jerk hard and fast with your back. And, it's medieval times. I haven't figured that part out yet. And the door wrenches up a little bit. And you've got it now halfway open with just enough room for the bear now to squeeze on through.
A motion for the bear to go.
The bear goes through.
You squeeze through. It's no longer a vertical challenge for you. It's a horizontal, tubby, round, barrel-sized bear. You're squeezing, and you feel elven hands pushing on your rump, and then dwarven hands, then frail old man hands, and finally you get squeezed right on through.
And finally the spell wears off.
And you are inside a small chamber, small room. It is a small room with, again, lots of stone bricks and everything. It's maybe 15 by 10 feet in size. And it has a control panel on the far side with several levers and numbers and gauges on it.
I'll get out of the way so somebody with more nimble hands.
Taking up like half the space of the room, he wedges himself awkwardly into one side.
Avius wants to investigate these levers and
You're
gauges
gonna get
and numbers.
surprise, intimidate on whatever comes through the door.
Avius, you see there are 5 levers They have letters next to them, and they have numbers next to them. And the letters are A, B, C, D, and E next to each of them. And then next to each of those appear to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Appears to be 6 slots, if you will, of nothing labeled. And then there's a 1, and there's a 2, there's a 3, there's a 4, and there's a 5 of where the lever can be positioned.
Okay.
And each of them are at different positions.
Are they all just random? Are the majority of them at a similar position?
A's at 3, B's at 4, C's at 3, D's at 2, E's at 5.
I want to put E at 0.
You're putting E down at 0. E does not move at all.
I can't make it budge.
Try another one. This is likely what they did to cause that water flow.
I think, can someone help me?
Well, I'll give it a go. Which one?
E.
E. I don't know what that looks like. I speak Dwarven. No, I give a tug to E and try to make it move.
Okay.
Or Olgrim does.
You pull, and E is stuck shut.
Well, that's not going anywhere.
Heavens to Murgatroyd.
How about A? A looks movable.
Okay. Let's do it.
Where do you want it moved?
A is currently at position 3.
Let's take it to 0.
It does not move to 0.
B to 0.
B does not move.
C to 0.
C does not move.
D to 0.
8 to 1. B to 2.
Does not move.
All right, then.
Try going the other way.
For which one?
No, I'm standing in the back suggesting that.
Okay.
All right, so then we go through the same...
Which one first?
A.
It's currently at
5.
3. You move it up to 5. You hear some metal moving off in the distance, and you can hear a slight change in water dropping sounds from back outside the room.
And how's it change?
Elmon will poke his head out to see if he can see any discernible difference and yell back whatever it happens to be.
Sure. You see you did A?
A.
You see a pipe with a grate across it that is now flowing more than you remember when you passed by it.
Turn it back. Can I take it back down?
Yep, it goes down to 3 and no lower.
All right.
Staying there where I am. Try the next one.
I don't know if that's a good idea based on what we just discerned from lever A.
One of these has got to make the water stop from the outflow.
I believe by increasing the lever to a higher number, more water comes out.
What do we got to lose?
Our lives. Oxygen. Health.
Olgrim, Puck, you guys have any ideas?
It's just this gearing thing in the middle of this room.
Correct.
I pop my head out and see if the water's still flowing heavily from where we saw the ratmen go.
Yeah, that is that's a more brick-heavy pipe, and that is still at that 80-90% flow, just coming right in, almost completely covering the pipe as it comes out.
Oh.
Try the next one.
You said 80 or 90%. Is there a gap where there appears to be water or air, rather?
Yeah, I'm just saying it's almost 100% full
100%.
coming out, but not completely.
Crazy.
What were you saying, Elmon?
Try the next one. Just one.
Avius wants to do this.
Fireball.
Avius returns lever A to 5 again.
Up to 5. Elmon, you see the flow increase on the grated pipe again.
Now he tries to decrease B.
To what?
As far as he can.
Okay. It goes down to notches.
Excellent.
And Elmon, you see the brick pipe that was at around 80 or 90% is now down to about 50, 40%.
That's the right one. Keep it. Keep reducing it.
Okay, so we'll take lever C and go up 2 notches.
It goes up 2 notches.
And then bring B back down again to 0.
You see, Elmon, a curved pipe on the far side of the wall starts increasing its flow, and then you see the brick pipe where the rat men scurried up goes down to an absolute trickle and is completely shut off, and there's just a small rivulet of
We're good. We can get down there now.
Woohoo!
Well done, Avius.
Nice thinking.
Who's ready for adventure?
All right, you head up the pipe section, the smaller one that is now emptied out of its liquid, and are making your way up. Who's taking the lead? What's the marching order that we have here?
Everyone turns to Olgrim. Olgrim will take the lead.
All right, Olgrim's first. Who's second?
Maybe the bear?
Yeah, the bear.
The bear is next. The bear is having some challenges squeezing into
Yeah, I don't
this
know if
tight
the bear
space.
needs to go next. Because then we're having to push your ass up through this tunnel.
Or I go last, and then I'll just be like Winnie the Pooh, like stuck.
Oh, bother.
We can't get you.
Or I mean, I can always switch back to Puck.
Or we could go first.
I'll go first.
Okay,
Let's
you're going
keep the bear
first. You
first.
are immediately getting wedged in extremely tight into this pipe. You need to make an athletics roll.
A 7.
7. You get your head in and your shoulders barely squeeze in, and you are
Barely.
just stuck.
I will turn back into Puck.
Okay. Bling! He morphs back down into his goblin form with all equipment and spear and everything in hand magically, and you fit much, much better. You have room to stretch and jump and everything a goblin would want to do. And Puck is leading the way with spear.
I'm gonna wedge back and let the dwarf take the lead.
Things change. All right, Olgrim, you're up first. You start climbing up, and then Puck's next. I don't know. Tell me, guys.
Yeah, Puck will go second.
Who's third?
Avius!
All right, and Elmon, you're bringing up the rear.
Yep.
The 4 of you climb up, and your pipe goes up some distance, about 30 feet sloped up, and then it opens up into another large sewer tunnel artery section, and you drop down about 5 feet onto another small ledge.
I'm gonna take the time right now to cast level 2 Cure Wounds on Elmon. 15.
That's leaving
Nice.
me only 4 points of damage.
Big heal. You put your hands on Elmon and you heal some of his bad wounds. You guys have arrived at this large sewer tunnel again, and it only goes in one direction. You're kind of at a dead end, and it starts flowing with other pipes dropping liquid into this section. Walking along the sewer channel area, you pass by another series of ladder rungs in the wall leading up to the surface. The sewer starts to drop steeply here as you follow it around a bend.
At that ladder rung, Elmon will climb up and just take a look to see what part of the city that they're in, just get a orientation.
You're up against a grate. You press your face against it and can see you're in the middle of a street at night.
They go that way?
Fascinating. No, I just wanted to see where in the city we are. I can't
But I
tell.
can't really find out which way to go. I imagine they went this way, but...
Gonna go back down.
Okay.
Just wanted to take a quick look, see if I could get an orientation.
You quietly make your way past a big gloop that plops out of a pipe overhead and splashes down in. The smell is awful. The water, if you can call it that, has green foam now bubbling on the surface. More wet bricks lie ahead, waiting to send you into the channel with one misstep. Then some of you hear an odd sound. Go ahead and all of you may make a perception roll.
9.
Avius is cleaning the wax out of his ears. He hears nothing.
17 for Olgrim.
Also 17 for Elmon.
All right. Olgrim, you stop and get bounced into from behind by the next one, which is Puck, I believe. And you get smacked in a little bit as you hear a sound, kind of like a creaking or like a gate opening noise. But you don't hear it from ahead and you don't hear it from behind.
Olgrim takes a look and peers over the edge to see if there's anything there, and barring that, would look overhead as well.
Okay, an edge of what?
The edge of, you said, is this still the edges
channel
of the
thing? Yeah.
So just peering over the edge to see if
there was like something under you with the gate. Okay. You peer under the edge. You see nothing. What was your next thing?
And then looking right overhead.
Looking up, you see that there is a square hole above you and slightly off to the side, almost in the middle of the channel, but not quite. It's a square hole that ascends upwards into darkness. Kind of a small hole. Can fit a person very, very tightly, but there's no grate or anything.
Could a rat man make this kind of jump and get up there?
Pointing now into this hole.
How high up from where we are is it? Like what's the orientation?
It's about, say, 10 feet up from here.
I thought I heard a grate opening or something like a small gate.
And he's speaking very softly, just trying to...
Might be able to make it. Not sure how nimble they are.
Well, there were 2 of them, right?
Aye. At least.
Well...
And Olgrim laces his fingers together and prompts for Elmon's foot.
I can't send the goblin up.
Okay. Somewhat hesitant, like bracing myself and looking down at the sewer.
You owe me.
That's what I'm worried about.
He doesn't lift you up at all.
Exactly. Get my foot on and give a countdown. 1, 2, 3, go, and I guess get propelled up.
All right. You can see as you put your foot in there that you are going to have quite a tight fit. You are essentially a Vietnam tunnel rat at this point. So you will need to leave behind things like your bow, your quiver, and a sword and dagger it up if you're going to go in there for any protection.
Anybody got a dagger?
You have, yeah, I have 2. I'll give you one.
The Lothian priest took my dagger.
That's right. No, I have a shiny nice dagger and and a garbage one, so you can have not a garbage, but like a normal one.
I don't care.
Gets through the hole. Guy's sitting
there. Put that thing in my teeth and go Vietnam tunnel ratting it up.
All right. Olgrim, you lift him up, and Elmon, you reach in, and it is a tunnel that goes up just a couple inches, essentially, and there's a small space in the ceiling you can grab onto and pull up and try and look. Your dark vision shows that it ends, and it's essentially a flat space, almost like a little attic crawl space right above that you can try to squeeze into if you'd like.
Sure.
You pull your head up and into the hole. You're level with that space, and you can see a little bit of a light just about 4 feet away spilling down. This is a cramped, narrow duct, if you will, but it's made of stone and brick everywhere. And now if you want to commit, you can pull yourself in with your arms, just kind of wedging and kicking your feet to try and shimmy into this space. Your sides will be pressed, your shoulders will be pressed. This is claustrophobic to the extreme.
But if I need to get out, I'm still going to be able to get out, right?
Probably.
All right. I'll go.
Okay. You start pulling and pulling and pulling. I'll let you choose an acrobatics or athletics.
I'll do, well, they're both the same, so it doesn't really matter.
It's all about style.
11.
You pull yourself in and you're able to get in, but you're starting to panic a little bit with claustrophobia. You're going to be at disadvantage for the next few moments.
Okay.
as you're dealing with this situation. You're pulling and wedging and getting yourself up. You guys still down in the sewer section just see his elven boots disappear, and he is gone up into this ceiling section. And you just hear him just going, tight.
You okay?
No, not really.
Can we see which way he went?
Yeah.
Can we, follow down below,
Sure.
in that direction?
Yeah.
I'll grab his gear, too.
Okay.
Puck will.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Olgrim, just kick it in. Oh, you owe me, you bastard.
Elmon, you reach this light source area that is spilling down into this duct, if you will, and you can't see what's going on, and you essentially just start rotating and rotating your body to twist 180 degrees, so now you're on your back.
Oh God,
And
that does not sound good.
You are able to wiggle forward just enough to see, and you can hear as you're getting close. It's not a creaking noise or a gate creaking noise. It is the shrieking noise of a woman in fear that you hear. Much, much louder as you're closer to the source.
I'm assuming probably not shrieking in fear of me.
Your head pops out of her toilet.
You get closer and...
Yeah, I mean, hearing her in distress, I'm going to try to move with whatever alacrity I can.
That would be none.
Okay.
And your face is cascaded by some light that's blocked slightly by the grill of a drain. So you are underneath a drain.
Okay.
And you can see through this drain that you are in a basement area. You see there is some blood that is dripping down the drain. You can feel it kind of lightly dripping onto your face. There's very little room to maneuver, but then you don't feel so bad because at a corner of your vision, you can see there is a wooden table in this basement that's got a whole bunch of cow rib meat type stuff and cow sections hanging from, and the big butcher knives and stuff, so you don't feel as weirded out. And then you can angle your head around to the other direction and hear and see a screaming middle-aged woman hanging from chains. And she is crying, the weight of her body held up by her wrists. And she is gagged and still trying to scream out. Just this.
Does it look like she's been there for a while?
Nope.
Okay. And what's so it's straight up is basically a grate in a meat packing type place. The woman's in there.
Yes.
And is there, and kind of where I am, there's nothing below me other than this. Okay.
Correct.
It is odd question. Is the middle-aged woman bigger or smaller than I am?
I don't understand, but she is a little bit of a hefty gal.
Okay. So she's not going to fit the same way that I...
Oh, no, and this drain is a small... Your head would fit through the drain, that's it. It's a small drain.
Oh, so I couldn't even get through it at all. Okay, trying to not be seen by her.
Okay.
Because I don't think that would be beneficial in any way.
To see a blood-covered elven head coming out from the drain?
Yeah. Is there anything
3
else?
more days to Halloween, Halloween, Halloween.
Is there anything else in that room? Any people? Anything else that I can discern that would give me a clue as to what's going on in there, other than the obvious?
Another perception roll, please.
Still at disadvantage?
You are still a little panicked.
Okay. 6.
6. You cannot discern anything, and you don't want to be there much longer.
Yeah, I think it's time for me to make my way back.
Okay. You start scooting and scooting and scooting, and you are able to make your way back.
And then when I get back to the hole where I'm going to whistle so that the crew knows that I'm back. And
all right, you whistle. There's no response. You kind of dangle your feet and say something. There's no response. You get to your legs and your midsection and dangle your legs out. No response. You get to your upper chest and say something. No response. You're now hanging by your fingertips over the channel. No response. You can see your friends maybe 20 feet away looking up at the top of the brick trying to figure out where you are above them.
Okay, I am going to...
And 2 rat men helping you down.
Looking right above out the same hole.
I'm going to swing back and forth a couple times and try to build up enough momentum to get propel myself onto the ledge.
All right, make an acrobatics roll.
I don't wish ill will.
And this will be
I hope you make
13 difficulty, by the way.
Is this a straight?
This is straight.
Out of the...
Yeah.
Ooh, so tempted. I'm going to use my inspiration.
All right. I see inspiration being used.
And you said acrobatics?
Yeah, 13.
All right. That would be a 24 total.
24. You land with ease and have your gear completely on and stowed by the time the first one of your party members turns around and sees you there.
Wave.
You look and you see Elmon looking sweet with all his gear, and then also like Carrie, just drenched in blood from head to toe, because that chute thing you were in has been dripping blood for quite a while, and you wiggled and rolled in it. Yeah, you are a nightmare-looking elf of blood everywhere.
You already found the ratman?
No. There's I don't quite even know how to describe it. Some sort of meat packing place, and there's a woman chained up, screaming.
Oh, I had this dream last night.
Yeah. No ratmen though. I couldn't get in. She didn't see me.
Yep, same dream.
Well, if we're down here long enough, we're bound to see all kinds of evils.
How far back was the ladder that would have gone up?
Let's see there, a turn slightly up, maybe about 100 feet back up the sewer where you came.
There's
You thinking about rescuing?
yeah. Eh? I mean, far as I know, we're the only people that know about that, and
See, this is why I like you. That's a very noble sentiment. All right. Well, I'm fine for it.
all right.
Did you want to dive in and get cleaned off a little bit?
No. I will stick
Rub
with
off
the
with
bloody.
You're at disadvantage
mess.
for diplomacy.
Yeah,
I'm here to rescue you
but maybe advantage for intimidation.
from your soul.
Making
Hunter's mark.
damn it!
I was going to say something.
I'm not going back up there to do it. There's no way you can get me to go back up there. But I will, like maybe with his dwarven senses and my ranger senses, kind of orientating.
I've got no
Our
sense.
powers combined,
Yeah.
we form.
Form of
Captain
raw
Lost.
sewage.
Yeah, trying to mark and remember like where we are in orientation to where everything else.
I'm going
is
to say
try
that's
and find
definitely
this
in
building
Olgrim's
again.
wheelhouse.
Okay.
Okay.
Let's go back to the ladder and get up above and see if we can find where she might be.
Avius, Puck, you both are very quiet.
Carpaccio?
All right.
How
Up we go then.
food at a time like this?
I'll go, but we need to get after these rats as well.
Yeah, but there's a damsel in distress Elmon has found.
Okay.
You have climbed up, though, you've gone 100 feet back. You've climbed up these metal rungs bolted into the brick. You are pressed up against a grate in the ground of the street, which is above your head. This one is rusted shut a bit. You need to make a strength roll to slam your shoulder against it a couple times.
Alrighty. 21.
Oh, one quick smack, and the grate comes flying off entirely and clatters a little loudly in the empty street. You poke your head out, so there's just this dwarven, poop-covered head popping out of the
You two are a mess.
cobblestone streets.
It's city camouflage.
And then a blood-drenched elf to follow.
A bear and we sound like a joke.
You poke your head up, and then you poke your head right back down as a horse and wagon come right overhead. And then you poke your head back up and see you're on a fairly wide section of street, and that is the only thing. There's no one else going around. It's raining heavily still. That cart, that wagon goes off in the distance. You see there's a couple shops and things on all sides. You get out, and everyone else climbs up after you.
Given the workmanship of stone and orientation to how we were, can I try to get a good gauge on what direction, maybe even what building I need to be in?
Yeah, make an intellect roll with advantage with your dwarven stone sense.
A 12.
You have a rough idea of which side of the street it's on, and you believe it's within these 8 shops and houses over on this side.
Well, it's on this side of the street. That's all I know.
Probably a butcher.
Avius looks for a sign that says butcher.
Yeah.
You see a couple different signs. One that catches your eye is a knife with a chicken leg.
I think I found it.
And Olgrim will start charging on over.
Okay.
And it is still nighttime.
It is still nighttime.
Still raining too, so maybe take advantage of that, you two.
Avius produces a bar of soap from one of his robe pockets and tosses it.
I think one of your tricks with prestidigitation is that you can actually clean off yourself.
Clean a dwarf?
I can clean a small 1 cubic foot area.
I'm about a cubic.
All right, charging through the rain, absorbing as much of it as possible.
All right.
I take little pity on the door that prevents me from going into the
you're
building.
just charging right at the door.
Yep.
I could probably...
What? No one told me that. Charge!
He's charging at the door, and as you try to call out to him, Elmon, you see he is stopped after just a couple feet as the entire ground trembles and shakes, and there's a huge tremor that rocks the ground. And Olgrim, as you're charging excitedly in, you lose your footing and smash and tumble into a puddle, which is probably for the best for you. The whole ground shakes and then stops, and you're all just kind of look at each other. And Avius, you can see from your vantage point down a long avenue, some distance away to the west, you can see a giant grayish spiral of huge magical energy spiraling up and up and up a couple miles away further into the city. And it rises up and up, ending at a triangular shape at the end of it as it rises up and up. And then at that same time, you can hear a huge crunching of stone and wood echoing from way off in the distance, you believe from the old town section of the city. And once it gets up to about 100 feet, this grayish spiral just kind of fades away and disappears, and all is quiet. You can see a couple lights turn on across the street, but people here are just kind of curious, but not alarmed.
We may have found the Grey Ascent.
Yeah, or the powder didn't get destroyed.
Well, what are we doing?
Since you are pausing for a second,
Well, I got to get up out of this puddle.
I will help Olgrim up and then let me pick the lock.
All right.
Okay. And we're going to pick the lock to the chicken shop.
All right, make a dexterity. And what are you using? The dagger that was lent to you?
Yeah.
All right, disadvantage dexterity roll.
Okay. Not sleight of hand?
No, we'll just do dexterity.
Okay. Oh, 9.
9. 9 is my answer to you. No, you wedge your dagger in, and it is just not the right tool for this. You need to get some good thieves' tools at some point.
Yeah.
And you jimmy it, and
I
there's...
look at Olgrim and I step away from the door.
I ready a boot and begin to proceed to...
The only one you have.
Olgrim skulks away.
Balance me! Help me!
Balance. Only have trouble in an ass-kicking contest.
Giving a good pace, I hop into the door, throwing my shoulder into it.
Okay. You hop, and go ahead and make a strength roll. Slamming against the door.
Strength roll. A modified 20.
That's great. You hit the door hard and you blast right through it. You do not take any damage yourself, but you do fall awkwardly into this butcher shop on the other side. And yeah,
I'm gonna follow him in, like, kind of directly.
All right, you're right behind him, stepping over him, and inside you see is a butcher shop, and it's dark as all heck, but your dark vision can make it out mostly. There is tables and cleaned off meat sections and stuff that are being saved for tomorrow. Terrible refrigeration type things not going on here. You do see on the far end there is a lit stairwell basement type thing, and standing in that stairwell is a man who's come out to see what's going on with the rumbling sound, and he's dressed in a long tall apron, and boom, you guys come rushing in, and he ducks down the stairs and disappears down the stairwell.
Puck helps Grim up.
Okay.
And Elmon will actually just pursue him.
All right.
Wait up, Elmon.
And he'll charge right after him.
And Olgrim to follow.
Elmon, you go barreling down after him and make a make a dexterity roll. That'll be good.
10.
With a 10, you dive after him and trip a small tripwire that he ducked down under as he went down the stairs. Mm-hmm. And a cleaverish blade comes out from the side and gets you for 8 points of slashing damage.
Ignoring that, I continue to move forward.
All right, you stumble a bit down the stairs. You head down the stairs. You don't trip anything else as you reach the bottom. And you see this guy is there and looking right at you at the base of the stairs. He's got a cleaver in each hand and is just stunned and angry and ready to slice the hell out of you. And we're going to start combat right now.
All right.
How much damage did you take?
8. So I have a total of 12.
No.
Yes.
You were at 40.
Right. So I've taken a total of 12 damage.
Okay, thanks.
Sorry.
All right, he is
Use the map
acting.
to the healer.
He's acting first. He swings and misses. He swings and gets his other cleaver stuck in the wooden wall next to the stairs and will waste his next attack to wrench it free. And then he's going to try and back away from you, not knowing what weapon you're going to draw. And
shocker, it's going to be a bow.
and he actually is stepping back away and quickly looking at the woman behind him to make sure she's still chained up. And
I'll pause for a second and tell him, if you surrender now, I'll let you live.
He does not surrender.
Okay, then I will fire.
Go for it.
We didn't roll initiative for nothing here.
Fair enough. And Hunter's Mark.
Hunter's Mark. He is Hunter's marked.
On the woman.
Yeah. Natural 20.
Whoa!
Nice.
What a shot to
He
start.
already rolled max.
Well, close to it.
Close to it?
So max damage on that would be 18.
Okay.
And then the second attack, if I need it,
Shoot first, ask questions if he stays alive.
is going to be a 27
It's a huge hit.
with and he's damaged already. So we got
Colossus
8,
damage?
9, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Another 16 points of damage on top of that.
Jeez, 2 huge shots fly into the guy.
Oh, hold on. And that was with Hunter's Mark.
More
You
damage.
actually 1d6 damage to the target whenever you hit it with a weapon attack. So I get that. And so add 3 more onto that.
So 19?
Yeah, lighting him up. Shot, huge. You hit him in the left shoulder and in the left hip area, blood spurting out or dripping out from his wounds, but he is still in this fight for sure. Puck, you're at the top of the stairs with Olgrim.
I'm gonna cast frostbite at him, so he has to make a Constitution save.
You can't. You have to move down there.
Oh yeah.
You go barreling down the stairs, which you can totally do, and you can cast. What are you casting? Frostbite.
Frostbite.
All right. Constitution. I don't think it's gonna work. You got a 8.
3 damage, and he's disadvantaged on his next attack.
Next attack, okay. Avius, you're still up in the middle of the butcher shop, or outside if you want to be.
No, Avius wants to be inside.
Okay.
Avius casts Blade Ward on himself, and then runs. He wants to run as far as he can towards the woman.
Okay, so you have to go down the stairs first. And is Blade Ward a concentration?
It is not.
Okay.
1 round.
All right.
So it's good to the end of my next turn.
You've got Blade Ward. You're running past him. He will use his reaction to get an opportunity attack on you.
Okay.
And he has disadvantage due to the frostbite that Puck just delivered to him. Oh!
Yeah.
And he swings, misses badly, and puts himself into a weird, awkward position for it'll be advantage to the next attack against him. And Olgrim, you are next.
Everyone's already taken.
They've raced past you. You want to select some nice cold cuts or something?
Is this fresh?
Oh my god. He's this old Jewish lady getting pissed off at the deli. Can I have a pickle?
You see Olgrim with a scarf wrapped around his neck.
Quarter pound.
When was the last time this was pickled?
This is kosher?
And everyone's just kind of beating the hell out of this guy, but he did kill them or attack them. I will join in the fray, and I will slash out at him, moving down the steps.
Okay.
If I can get to him in this round.
You can.
And will attack.
All right, you charge down the stairs, and you go swiping twice with your new sword, by the way.
Woohoo!
Don't forget the new sword ability.
It is advantaged?
Yes.
This one attack is advantage.
Thank God. Rolled a 1 and a 3.
Oh.
Way to really use that advantage.
That's a 9.
That is a miss.
The sword glows magically.
Oh, okay, grab a token. I think I gave you some red tokens or something, green.
And I make the second attack standard.
Blade of Revenge is a little powered up now.
It is now... It's going to hit. 25.
That's a hit.
25.
That's hit.
And now does... I rolled the... Did I roll it? I didn't.
No, and don't forget the +1 for the powered sword.
Right. That's 8.
8 total damage.
8 total
Nice
damage.
swipe comes in and hits him. The sword loses its charge. Last to go in the round is him again. He's got Olgrim he is going to attack with a big swipe. No. That was just the first one.
Disadvantage.
And got a 16.
16 will not make
Misses. Puck, you were at range. Elmon, he made range happen between the two of you, so you're fine. He will strike at Olgrim again then. For 20.
20 will make contact.
And I don't know what his damage is, sorry. It's not much. It's 4 points of slashing damage.
Of which I will take 1 point of slashing damage.
No,
it's heavy armor. Heavy armor only.
Heavy armor only.
This is medium armor. Sorry, I take all
4
of the
damage. Good
4
catch.
damage.
And then he will slice at you a third time.
Ooh, 3 times.
And hit you with a 19.
19 will make
For
contact.
4 points of slashing damage. Then he will use his move to go, get away from her! And will charge you, Avius, as you're racing over towards his captive.
This is just some sort of weird fetish thing, isn't it?
You can spend, if you haven't spent your reaction, you can do an opportunity attack. It's only 1 attack.
1 attack. Is 25.
Another big hit. What's the damage?
Is 7.
7's another hit. He is cut and hurt, but still going.
This guy's a beast.
It is a new round, and it is his turn. He is first act and last act, if that makes any sense. His first act is to strike at you, Avius. He is barreled down on top of you. Get away! And strikes at you with a 20.
That hits.
Hits for 4 points of slashing damage.
2 points of slashing damage.
Then slashes again for a 9. And then a 21 with his third attack.
9 misses.
21 hits.
And then 21 hits.
4 slashing damage.
So I lost 4 total.
Cut. Swiping. Small cuts are dealt to you. Elmon, you are still at that last step. Is your action.
He's mad.
Take a half step forward and make sure I have a nice clear shot, and 2 arrows go streaking out.
Looks pretty clear from here.
Okay, number 1 is going to be an 18.
Hits.
For, oh goodness, 11, 18, 19, 20, 22 points of damage.
Huge hits.
And then second arrow is going to be a 15.
That is a hit.
For, minimum damage of 6.
6. He is bloodied and messed up. He is really, really hurting at this point, but still alive.
Whoa.
Puck, you are up. He's got shot. He's got arrows coming after him. He now is just in a rage, and he's going to be turning his attention part on Avius and then part on the woman for his next action.
Ooh, thorn whip.
A magical green whip appears in Puck's hand. It lashes out.
9.
9. You're having some challenges with that whip. It's a fickle whip. You lash out and miss.
Fickle whip.
Avius. Let me know if you want to move or bonus action or anything. Otherwise, we'll move on. Avius.
Yeah, no, I'm good.
I cast Earth Armor on the woman.
Okay. He is as close to death as humanly possible. Just FYI.
Yeah, that's...
Fireball.
Point blank, just drop it right on yourself.
I cast Big Bertha. Okay, then I'll do Firebolt.
Okay.
So, let's see.
Fool! Ha!
Kills the one.
And he kills her.
So it's 16
Is a hit.
and 14 damage.
Peace.
Isn't it 2d10 points?
I wrote it twice.
Oh, okay, I got you. How much damage?
14.
Take him down.
Stay away from her! 2 big firebolts, 1 out of each hand, go bolting towards this guy. Kind of Monster of Frankenstein style, like get him in the neck and he's just like, and he just like crumples to the ground.
All right. And then all is quiet, save for this woman's whimpering and screaming.
I got this.
My dear, you're safe. Can you tell me who this man was?
My father! Why'd you...
Miss Piggy, is that you? Okay, I take the gag off.
Thank you, Kermie. Hi.
Oh, no.
She fights back. Just kidding.
Put the gag back on. Let's go.
Why do birds suddenly appear?
She collapses to the ground, emotional wreck. And you guys, some of you don't look very good. It's a goblin. It's a sewage-smelling dwarf, and then a blood-covered elf who just murdered this guy.
Here. You're safe now. We saw you and thought we would come to save you. Where can we take you? Is there a place that you have family?
Make a persuasion roll.
13.
13. She is beyond interacting with at this
Like
point.
catatonic.
Yeah, she's just can't breathe. She's freaking out. She's not
Do I
looking at you guys.
see anything on her that would give me a clue as to like what part of town she's from?
Nope. Nope, just average.
Do we know
Pretty close.
what part of town we're in from our little John out of the sewer?
Yeah, you're in North Market.
What's the closest temple?
You know where one's at. Yeah, there's one in a couple in every district, so yeah.
We can take her to a
Fortress
temple.
of the
leave her there.
Redeemed?
No, that's at the other side of town.
Oh, okay.
Puck wants to
Right, to a temple.
to loot Bill the Butcher here.
Yeah, let's have a look around first, though.
He has
Loin chops.
Avius just wants to tend to her.
Okay.
He finds a blanket or something. He just...
It's a blanket with a quilt with a bunch of knives and butcher's
Can she walk?
faster than you.
Can she walk?
Skulks back upstairs. He'd kick at something on the floor, but he'd fall out.
Avius helps her back up from the basement into the main floor.
Okay.
And
you break out one of your robes from within your robe and cover her with it.
Out of one of my magical pockets.
And take a robe out of that robe, and then that's the one you cover her with, and escort her up. Puck, you are able to find a really nice sharp cleaver. If you're interested in having that as a melee weapon, just keep in mind you can't have a whole bunch of big weapons on you.
You're only so big.
I'll give the cleaver to the dwarf if he wants it.
Why are you looking at me?
Oh, no, sorry. I meant the elf.
I'll do it.
Whoever wants it. Puck's he has this jeweled dagger he's going to keep on.
Okay.
I need a melee weapon, I suppose. So yeah, I'll take the sharp cleaver.
Okay. You're going to have to ditch your newfound dagger that Puck gave you.
That's fine. I'll toss it on the ground.
All right.
I'll give it back to...
You drop it down the drain.
So sharp cleaver.
Yep.
What's the damage on a sharp cleaver?
It is going to be 1d6 plus 2.
Nice.
Until it loses its edge after a couple good hits.
Okay.
And you also find up in his room, you are able to find a box that is not locked and has some coins in there. As a matter of fact, it is 28 gold coins that he has saved up. You can take those or leave them for his next of kin.
Oh, I'll take them and distribute them.
His wife and children that are sleeping upstairs.
Nope. Nope.
All right.
Put it under their pillows.
So 7 gold each.
7 gold?
Goodbye. There's
7 gold.
There's also some.
I feel bad. No, I leave the gold.
Oh, fuck us. Take it.
This image of children left behind has just touched the dwarf's heart.
There's also a bunch of excellent choices of meat, select choices everywhere, but you're just not 100% sure of the source.
Yeah. And we're getting ready to go back into the sewer, I think.
Not on a full stomach, that can be a challenge, yeah.
What about this quaking that we felt earlier? Is that not of concern?
It's definitely of concern.
It came from Old Town. Hopefully not from Malil's residence.
Well, shouldn't we check it out?
Yeah, I suppose.
Yeah. I mean, I think...
The sewer doesn't always be there, but...
yeah, we know how to get back there, but yeah, I would agree with you.
And Olgrim...
Let's take the missus here to a temple and...
Oh, okay, yeah.
Get her in some...
Was she damaged at all? Is she fine?
She's fine. She was not hurt or anything.
But she's damaged.
I say we take her... Let's take her to Jamon's temple.
How far away
That's
is that?
far away.
Oh.
There's a closer temple.
He seems to know of a closer one. We could go to that temple, leave it there.
I think it's best that she go to a Lothian temple, either way.
Is there a Lothian temple around?
Yeah, everything's a Lothian temple except for there's one street called Temple Street that has a whole bunch of shrines and other temples in it.
All right.
Everything else, Lothian is the church.
So we will take her to the temple.
What time is it? It's like 2 a.m.
Oh, yeah. But you guys, the last few nights have gotten a little bit accustomed to
our
it.
sleep cycle.
But regardless of what temple we go to, the same guy answers the door.
And good news for you, I guess, Olgrim, once sunlight comes up, your armor will be ready. It's just not ready now. But it's so close. So close.
Got an hourglass strapped to my hip.
Yeah. Ding! Time to go.
We're in the middle of a fight. No, that can't wait.
You go to a temple, you knock on the door late at night, and the priests there are able to help you, particularly when you throw Jamon's name around. They don't ask too many questions. But again, it does just look really odd. Goblin, dwarf who smells terrible, and a blood-covered elf.
I mean, give them a brief synopsis of what happened. And
So we arrived at a dock, and there was this boat.
Here's a link to our podcast.
And you sit and wait 12 hours while he listens.
Oh, no.
Now that we're
You still won't let us in.
Wait, it's now, or it was now then?
It's more like 18 hours until he's
Basically
current.
explaining that we heard her screams from the street and investigated. Not that we
Not from the sewer?
Not from the sewer.
Not that you're blood covered for no reason?
Well, I mean, we did just kill the butcher, so it would make sense that I'd be blood covered. I mean, they don't know I'm an archer.
And I fell into something foul, but not a sewer.
Our friend Olgrim fell into a cow, and then he was shat out.
I fell into a cow.
They take her without thanks because they just don't know the situation. They just want to close that door as quickly as they can. Door's closed, and she is taken care of. You guys did well.
Okay, off to Malil's. The
Right.
Abanar estate.
Abanar Estate.
You guys head off, and Olgrim, you can, with the fresh air, you cannot be leading the position at all. You've got to be in the rear. Your friends will not trail you with the terrible smell.
I can do more prestidigitation.
There isn't enough magic in the world. You understand, he was submerged briefly in this stuff.
You need like a level 5.
Like a wish,
crusting
level 9 greater wish.
Your beard is just all
And even then, it's kind of iffy.
frozen
Yeah,
cone
50-50 roll.
of shit now.
Well, I'm kind of taking a little level of pride in this crust armor.
He's getting very huggy right now.
I will. I'll fall back and trail behind
I'll
everyone.
be taking the lead, I suppose, and
I'll go.
furthest away from the dwarf.
Puck will go second.
I'm always third.
You guys make your way towards Old Town. There is a road you take up to get to that section. It's one of the raised tiers of the city. And by the time you get up there, you see there is quite a gathering around a neighborhood, and you can see there are several buildings that have completely collapsed. About almost a whole block of buildings have just completely collapsed in onto themselves. There's a sinkhole of just about 9 feet deep that they've all dropped into, and then everything is crashed on top of. There are probably 100 people gathered around the sides, local citizens, a bunch of the guards, and you can even see someone really, really important surrounded by some sweet-looking guards who's come out of the whitish castle that leads up to the noble quarters, who's really taking a keen concerned interest. Everyone's really on point at this.
Where is this in relation to House Abanar?
It's half a mile away.
Okay. Well, rest assured, this was not at Malil's residence, so that's good. I suppose we should maybe try to see what's happened, but I don't believe in our current state, being smelly and quite scary looking, that we could get very far.
Yeah, we shouldn't make too much of a spectacle of ourselves if we can help it.
Perhaps we can stop by and visit Malil, and he would let us use his facilities to freshen up.
Aye.
All right, going to Malil's.
We go to Malil's.
You go to Malil's.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
Before we depart, I'm checking to see, like, Olgrim's just looking to see if there's anyone trying to do some sort of, like, low-level search and rescue, like, were there people involved in this, that kind
they're
of thing?
down in there. They're removing debris. There is actually a ogre. There are 2 ogres that they have in here that are somehow tamed or civilized. You're not sure how, that are moving big sections around. They've got some wagons up at the edge.
Are there any wounded people down there that Puck can see?
No, but well, you're sure there are a couple, but there are at least 24 that are off on the sides where they're gathering them.
Does Olgrim feel like he could assist in moving stuff, or is it pretty well handled? I know
It's
we're
pretty
talking Olgrim's.
No, it's pretty well handled. There's a bunch of people working on it. Right?
Oh, okay. All right.
And you can even, Avius, you can identify a spellcaster wearing official city uniform who's out there and moving things around with an earth movement type spell.
All right.
I'm satisfied, though.
Very well. Let's continue on.
All right. You head to Malil's estate. You cross the bridge and head towards his guardhouse that's outside. A normally probably asleep Jorn in his gatehouse is wide awake from the tremor and sees you guys coming. You just see his eyes kind of narrow as he's trying to figure out what is this, and sees you and says, "Oh no! What is this?"
We just need to use your facilities.
Well, not yours, but Malil's.
Round back, is it? And he starts walking around.
Stop right there. He draws no weapon. He's seen you guys in action. What's this all about?
We need a place to just kind of freshen up, and that's all.
What did you do?
Well, we rescued a woman from a butcher, and we chased some rats in a sewer, and now here we are.
I hear there's a lot of chaos just down the street.
Yes, that was not
Many
us.
people hurt.
Nothing to do with
we
us.
walked by.
Look at the elf!
Rest assured, that was not our doing.
Make a persuasion roll, Avius.
7. Wait.
Is anyone trained in
7.
persuasion at all in this party?
No.
Doesn't seem like it.
I actually am, but that has so far not been very.
But no one
Oh,
likes you.
Yeah, exactly. No, nobody seems to like me. So
And what do you want here?
We just want to clean up and freshen up just a bit.
Nah. That's his big response.
We're not asking you. We would like to speak to Malil, our friend.
Make another persuasion roll.
11.
Nah. You ain't getting in here looking like that and smelling like that, and I'm not quite sure you haven't had something to do with this.
we've not had anything to do with it.
The whole ground tremored.
After everything that we've done for Malil, I think you owe us just a little bit of hospitality to let us just get cleaned up. We just came from the sewer, if you will.
No, we just came from the sewer.
Yeah, basically from the sewer to the butcher shop to here. And we had nothing to do with that, by the way. There's absolutely nothing. not even a little bit.
I think the more you say that, the less he's convinced.
Elmon, you may make one last persuasion roll.
12.
Nah.
Even Olgrim shakes his head.
Olgrim just turns around and walks away without anything.
Can you just give us a towel?
Oh,
then,
4
maybe?
against 1. Let's go.
He says, "This is my hospitality," and reaches in and gives you a little small wash basin he has in his little gatehouse.
That'll do, I guess.
Scrub down a little. First one in. I start
Clicking up. Olgrim's just muddying the waters.
All right, first and only one. I guess I'm going bloody.
Everyone into the mud hole.
I think I've cleaned off, but I don't think it gets better over time. I
You've
think.
gotten your face and neck and some of your hair cleaned off of
okay.
major sections, but the smell is horrific.
All right, I do the polite thing and toss that into the street as
Okay.
opposed to anywhere near him.
Avius walks across the street to the flower shop, grabs some flowers, walks back over and just rubs them on Olgrim, just trying to
He tucks some flowers into your chain shirt.
perfume them.
Lovely.
There, that should
feel
help a
prim and
tiny
proper.
bit.
Oh, there is also that bridge you guys just came over. There's a small river, remember?
I'm
that's
going to go
like-
over there and...
Miles below, right?
Yeah, isn't that
Wasn't
quite a
like
drop?
Yeah, that
No,
was the
that's
big
a
bridge.
dump.
Oh,
that's
different.
A different
Oh,
one
that's
where you drop
right.
The clock.
That's not where the explosion was it?
No.
Okay.
Oops.
I want to go back and check out this
house.
this explosion. I've got to find out what that's all about.
I'm going to hop down in the river and, wash off my face and stuff
Okay.
at least, get unbloodied.
What do we do about the rat people, rat men?
We'll have to go back after we check this out.
Oh, I'm sure.
And there's always tomorrow.
As we leave the guard, Puck gives him a big smile and rings his bell twice.
Oh! You need to make a dexterity roll. He anticipates this. As you reach into his guardhouse, he slaps away at your hand. It's dexterity versus dexterity. I got an 8.
18.
18, you can ring it up to 5 times.
No, just twice. Just twice.
Okay.
Twice. Wait. 2 more.
You ring it twice, and he is a 13 equal to your armor class?
It is over my armor class.
He hits you, actually punches you for 3 points of damage.
Oh my God.
3 points of bludgeoning damage. And knocks Puck to the ground.
He turns into a shark.
Elmon will punch him back for that.
Roll for initiative.
Death combat has
Don't
begun.
punch our goblin.
All right, make an attack.
So I'm scrubbing my face, and all of this
And
is
a brawl
going down.
breaks out. Natural 20.
You lay him out. He is unconscious at the outside door of his gatehouse.
All right, just we leave.
Good persuasion.
I
Ding, ding.
help Puck back up and walk away.
Thanks,
Take a
Mr.
sword.
Elf.
Anytime.
Avius just kind of swats at Bjorn on the ground with his staff, just kind of a...
Just crumple some flowers and toss them down on him.
All right, Elmon, you are unblood covered. You're looking much better. Now you're just a moist elf.
I'm also feeling great about knocking a Jorn out, too.
Yeah, justified. And you guys are heading where?
Back
To
to
the
ground zero.
Yeah, ground zero.
You guys are back at the explosion. There's still lots of activity. There are lots of lanterns and torches being brought in. Even some magical lights are being brought in.
Avius goes towards the magic worker.
Okay.
What was he?
Magic worker.
Magic worker. I don't know the proper term of men of the night
Men of the
these
night.
days. Magic worker.
Ladies of the evening would just be construction workers.
And asks if he can be of assistance. Sir, is there any assistance I may be able to offer you?
He is weaving his hands and moving earth out of the way, and so people can start to lift off some chunks of house and get at a unconscious man under there. He says, I don't know. What can you do?
Avius just starts throwing webs everywhere. Here, web.
We have a couple bays that have fallen down inside there.
Well,
Can you pick up bay 12, please?
perhaps, maybe give me a quick little lesson in what you're doing, and I can do that as well.
I have no time to teach you magic, old man.
I'm quite the magician. Just show an old dog a new trick.
Look, potpourri.
Fantastic.
Pulls flowers out of his robe.
Potpourri
It's
terrifies
literally magic
Yeah,
tricks. He's just pulling flowers out of dwarves.
Here, hold this scarf.
He's terrifying the ogres that are assisting.
What's that behind your ear?
Ooh, it's
Wild magic.
a copper coin.
He is not paying any attention and is focusing on his life-saving work.
Are the ogres here, are they semi-intelligent or known to mingle, or are they just kept or corralled like beasts of burden?
You have not seen an ogre, but you have seen occasionally some strange creatures walking in the streets. They've normally been accompanied by someone or given a wide berth, but they're not like pets on chains or anything like that. The city is it's a combination of very cosmopolitan, but then mix that with the brotherhood a little bit and magic users and the concept of adventurers in the town. So people don't necessarily like them at all, or and you're not going to sit down with one in a tavern, but it's known that there are some of these things in the city.
Olgrim would like to stride in or get alongside one of these and speaking either primordial or common.
Okay.
Trying to address more to their tongue. I'm sure it's giant speak or something, but saying, "Well, how can I help?"
And the ogre says, move this big block section and stand back when you do.
I try to follow that instruction and just trying to garner some rapport here.
Okay. You do. You start helping. It's a 3-man team of a giant, large ogre, another large ogre lifting big pieces,
And a gimpy dwarf.
and a gimpy dwarf who they can't smell really well. It's a perfect
You
match.
smell good.
Just like home.
Avius is trying to make his way towards as close to the center, the epicenter of whatever happens as possible.
Okay. You are climbing around in there. You hear someone official with a meek voice just say, "You get out," which you pay no attention to. You make your way to the middle and are stepping over things. There's a woman who's being helped out who walks past you with a caretaker's helping her out, and you're now in the center section.
I want to place I just aim the head of my staff down as far down into the rubble as I can.
like pushing it down into there? Okay.
And detect magic?
Command word to detect magic? What is the command word to detect magic? What do you say?
I say,
I'm just curious.
I don't know yet. I don't
Okay.
have to think. I'm still learning.
Is it the word the?
This is why it just goes.
You've spent all the charges. Damn,
I say 1, 2, 3, 4.
All right. The staff goes bing and changes color to a light blue.
Excellent.
Puck jumps into the fray of the closest group of wounded. Doesn't ask anybody if he can help. He just starts, uses his whatever medical skill he can, and just starts to tend to the wounded.
All right. There's a couple that are badly hurt that you can try and stabilize. Make 3 different medicine rolls just for an overall sense.
I'm beginning to think Avius' staff is defunct. It just detects itself.
I have a natural 1, natural 20, and a 10.
All right.
So you kill one to save another.
Wow.
Yeah.
Good. So on the last one, you're doing you're doing some rudimentary job. Then you start to kill someone with your actions, and you move a bandage and blood squirting out. At the last second, you tie it off and save their life perfectly, and no one was any the wiser.
Yeah.
You look like the elf now, though.
Elmon is mingling with like the kind of bystanders, asking like, "Oh, what happened? What did you see?" Trying to kind of figure out if anybody was on scene, or like what people know.
All right. You speak with a couple people,
including trying to like talk to anybody official too that's like willing to give me the time of day without being like too like pressure-ish.
All right.
Like not like being like a high pressure salesman, just trying to get to somebody official and asking what happened.
Your third person you're talking to, you speak to him and he's eager and excited to share. Yeah, I was at the tavern across the way, and all of a sudden I saw this crazy snake gray magic just coming out of the ground and rising up, and it was going around all these buildings, and every building that was in it just started crumpling down in and crushing down. Like a giant hand has just crushed it.
Where did it start from?
From the ground. It just came up like the gods just pulled everything up and crunched it in. It was crazy. I've never seen anything like it before in my life.
What buildings were around here that got destroyed? Any businesses?
He lists off a couple of businesses, but nothing jumps out at you.
Okay.
So Avius, having made his magic staff light up, is all excited, and he hops down back to where the other magic worker is.
Okay.
And, sir, I do believe that magic was involved in this incident.
He says, yeah, we have that. We understand that. Who are you exactly? Oh my God, I'm so sorry. As his magic goes awry because he's not paying attention. Oh, can we get an ogre over there? Oh my God. I'm sorry, go on.
I really have to cancel the spell responsibly.
You keep interrupting his concentration spells.
Oh, yes, I'm terribly sorry. Avius Catorum. I'm sure you've heard of me.
No, I haven't heard of the name. Is this important right now?
Yeah, very important. I'm here to help.
He looks at you and blinks once. Blinks a second time. He's staring at you. Every second counts. There are people buried under this rubble, old man.
Then let me help you. Certainly there must be some way.
Can I get some help over here? And
Avius appeared.
And a city guard comes down and says, yeah, what's the trouble? And he says, can you have this man grab a shovel or something and have him help out? He's a good helper.
No, there
you go.
Don't
misunderstand.
misunderstand.
And the guard grabs you by the arm and starts dragging you away.
I'm helpful in the magical arts.
You say in a distant voice as you're dragged away from the spellcaster. You are taken towards a section in one of the higher parts and are given a pickaxe. There you go. Help out.
Yes. Olgrim!
Olgrim just high-fived an ogre in this.
Elmon? Puck? Anyone?
It's in another part of town.
You're trapped in a chain
I
gang.
pretend like I don't hear.
Drats.
Time goes by. You keep working. You keep healing. You keep talking. You keep whining. What do you want to do?
Olgrim is, while assisting here, is trying to find ways, because it is his belief that it might have come from underneath everything. So, seeing if there was a grate or opening, something that tore away down to the lower levels of whatever was around here. So, as we're lifting up stone, or these guys, are probably prying away huge sections that might actually gain access to that, he's looking for that intently.
Make an investigation roll.
Nope. 4.
It's a fail. Okay.
And then Elmon is going to kind of just go over towards where that city official, the noble, was.
Okay.
And not trying to interact with them, but just try and overhear what he's saying, what he's talking about, trying to garner any information from that area, like however close he can be without directly drawing attention to himself. He wants to get over there and just loiter and listen.
All right. You are not able to get anywhere close to listening range. There are some very strong, intense guards all the way around him. You also can sense there is a person who is constantly circling around where that...
Pass without a trace?
Hold on. Where that guy is at, who is casting spells constantly as he's going around in a circle.
Okay.
This is a very important guy, and you are able to ask someone who's looking on at the accident scene, and they say, oh yeah, that's the commissar. He rules the city with the help of the council.
What's that wizard doing?
Oh, he's detecting invisible people or those that are casting spells of scrying nature.
Invisible? Do you have a problem with invisible people around here?
Not with that person around.
Fair. All right. Scratch that.
Okay.
No pass without a trace for me.
More time goes by. You guys going to stay here for a while and work? Or head out and do something else?
Avius is taking a cracker break.
Okay.
Puck wants to go down into takes a break from tending the wounded and wants to go down to kind of ground zero and cast detect magic.
All right, you leave Hawkeye and BJ back at the triage area and head down into the pit type area. You're going into exactly where again?
Like right down to like where it looks like it started.
Okay, that would be the middle section.
Yep.
All right, you're casting detect magic just like the staff did. All right. What levels?
Well, wouldn't I do a little bit more? I mean, I'd be able to like at least detect the school of magic.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
Just level 1.
All right, you hold out your hands and start to close your eyes and move around and sense the web and flow of magic around you. You detect no magic whatsoever.
Okay.
Interesting.
It's fantasy troubleshooting.
We'll be like
Did you clear your cache and cookies on your...
30 more sessions in and finally figure out what this stupid staff does.
It's like...
We're gonna have to have a session where we sit down like a good wizard, an evil wizard, and just a commoner, and then Avius just points at each one and sees what happens with the staff.
I hate to bring this up. Are you wearing a ring by chance?
Well, yes.
Yes.
But it's in the other hand.
But...
And I am magical myself.
Okay. Just, I think it'd be crazy. All right. Olgrim is going to...
Don't be logical.
He's completely out of character. Don't listen. Olgrim is going to cease his activities here, congratulating the ogres as best he can. Well done. Just doing
Great. Make a persuasion roll. Persuasion roll advantaged for your overall interaction with him.
Do not critically fail around. That's all I can say. What the hell did I roll?
13's your higher too.
And persuasion 14.
14. One of the ogres pats you on the back. The other one says, thank you, good friend, dwarf. And seems to like you.
All right. And off I go to try to find the rest of my compatriots.
Okay.
Olgrim, should we go pick up your new armor? It's probably close to,
Yeah, the sun's starting to rise. You can go get some early breakfast somewhere.
Denny's. Well, if we're done here, yeah, we could go for...
I don't see how I am of any help.
I don't see much more that we could accomplish here.
Do I get a sense with how everything has collapsed, giving my stoneworking knowledge, that this would be like way down below or kind of shallow, like the incident happened more to ground level or like way down deep kind of thing?
You may make a roll for that. Let's do a wisdom roll.
Wisdom. Would I use any of my stone cutting with that?
Yes.
All right. 18.
Okay. You believe it would be shallow. And you start to try and get a sense of why that would be and where, and as you leave the last section that's moved away by the ogres, they find a dead guy, unfortunately, underneath the last section. And crunched underneath that dead guy as well is this really cool brass and chrome spindly legs clockwork spider that's crushed underneath it as well.
I tear a piece of that off.
Okay.
And bring it with me as I go to my compatriots.
All right. You collect your friends. You guys head towards a shop that might be opening for some fruit or bread in the morning. That turns out to be much more of a nightmare than you ever imagined because no one wants anything to do with the dwarf. You then try to go to a bathhouse and try to get them to open them early. They open up the doors and want nothing to do with the dwarf, and you guys have to leave this district and head down towards an area where the animals are kept, pens, and you got a guy who deals with pigs that is able to just hit you with like lye and just hose you down with water, get you with big brushes. You've got to get out of all your clothes, and it's quite the scene.
I give him 5 silver.
Okay. Oh no, it'll take a gold total.
Right.
Gold total.
I'll throw up the other 5
All right,
silver.
5 silver and 5 silver.
Right.
And
it was worth
they
it.
at least they give you privacy. Sure. It's just this guy, you and the pigs. Squeal like a pig.
And a goblin and an elf staring.
Peeking with heads nodding in approval. Awkwardly. It is now.
You don't want to know what Avius is doing right now.
Don't judge me.
It's late morning by the time you are cleaned up. Your clothes are ruined. Your boots He puts in a burlap bag, and you are on your hard feet. Your clothes have been thrown out. He's giving you some really cruddy clothes from his children that you can use, which don't
Part of the gold.
don't fit well around the chest area, broad chest area. And your chain shirt is clean though.
Just hose that out. Yeah, I want to make sure that gets back to Nor.
That one's back to normal.
All right.
So you smell great now, and there's a little bit of potpourri that's been sprinkled on you as you came out, like a wedding ceremony.
His beard is braided. There's flowers tucked into it.
And the only thing that still smells is your burlap sack over your bag with your boots in it.
Right, I'm right for a wedding now.
You have this piece that you had broken,
Yes.
and then I don't know what else you guys wanted to do.
Well, since we're here, and I could think of no safer place to discuss it,
This is what I found in the rubble.
and I throw the piece on the ground.
More of that clockwork garbage.
Oh, this is quite interesting.
It was the full spider, about yay big, and
Holds up his hands to measure the size.
Oh,
took the leg off of it.
now, don't be telling tales, Grim.
Oh, it was huge.
Yes, I'm sure.
And of brass and gears. But it was crushed in the rubble. Well, that's all I've seen so far.
Well, we might want to revisit this place when the activity ties down, perhaps. It'd be good to know what buildings were there, or maybe what people were often there. But for now, I suppose we should go get your new armor, yes?
You all right?
All right, you guys head off, get the armor. I think you've already paid for it.
Yes.
All right. We can just skip right past it. The guys get you the armor, and you now have splint mail armor. Looks nice. It's not new, but it is great working condition and size to fit you perfectly.
And would I be getting this chain shirt back to Nor? Am I carrying that around as well?
You can drop it off if you want.
Well, if we're gonna go back to the inn, we might at least take a short rest. If not,
Yeah.
Okay. You guys want to go back to the inn? Want to take a short rest, long rest?
Short rest. I mean, I only need a short rest. I don't know about you guys. Do we need a long rest?
no. I'm gonna use a couple hit dice. So
Okay.
How many, on a short rest, do you get back spell slots?
No.
I do,
He has special ability.
but
Do we want to take a long rest?
we've been up all night.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's actually take a long rest.
Guys, take a long rest. That means you get back half your maximum hit points and then half your hit dice, and then you can spend some of those hit dice,
Do you need any
and
more
then all
healing?
your spell slots,
Mm-mm.
You're good.
We're all good.
and all your charges on your staff.
It's very useful.
How many charges does it have?
3.
All right.
We do need to go visit, what was his name? Otarik?
Otarik.
We need to
Yes.
go check in with him.
Yeah.
The lumber.
All right, it's 4 p.m. when you guys wake up. You've returned the chainmail that you were lent to Nor, who says, I hope it came to good use. New armor looks great.
I'm still alive, and it did wonderfully. Thank you for letting...
What's that smell? You have your boots on.
Dwarven musk.
You have disadvantage for all persuasion rolls for the next few days. You guys head out towards the North Market District and go back to the lumber yard. The rain has stopped, and you can see the people have repaired the fence. They've been working all day while you guys were sleeping. And Otarik is not there, but his foreman is, and you can speak with him.
What's his foreman's name? Do we know?
Yes, we do. His name is Rento.
Rento. Well, Rento, yes, good evening, good afternoon. How does the yard look?
We had some challenges. Where did you go? You were supposed to be guarding this.
Oh, we were, yes.
And what happened? The gate's gone. We've got some wood that's been knocked over, and our guard disappeared.
Well, I don't know what happened to your guard, but we had to chase some prowlers, just like Otaric wanted us to.
Oh. And what happened with the prowlers?
They got away.
We got one of them.
Oh, yes. We got one. But we killed him before we could talk to him about anything.
Kept him from stealing some wood, too.
True, yes. About 6 logs.
Well, that's good, I guess. We had to repair the fence. So I guess we'll see you again tonight. Let's see if we can keep the fence intact.
Hey, let's see if you can keep your mouth intact, sir.
What? You're the guards who weren't here when we came in this morning.
His blood sugar's a little low.
Sorry. I'm sorry.
Make a persuasion roll, Olgrim. At disadvantage due to the smell.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yes. You must forgive the old man. He's a little cranky. And I say it expertly.
What's your roll?
15.
Wow, with disadvantage.
With
15.
disadvantage, yeah.
He says, all right, just watch the language, pal.
Apologies. Do you have any pudding?
He ignores you.
All right. Let's go.
Do we want to go back down to where we left off?
In the sewer?
Yeah.
Is that what we're talking about?
Still trying to find the gathering spot of
I
these
guess.
things.
Or we go back to like ground zero, but it's probably
You
still...
had said
He marked the
they're
grate.
active at night. Wouldn't it be better to go in the middle of the day?
They'll be, well, there's options, because if they'll be probably in their lair.
Sneak attack.
Yeah, I mean, they'll probably be together. We'll probably run into more of them during the day.
Apparently, then they're not that hard to kill.
Fair enough. All right. Well, let's
Olgrim is significantly louder as he's walking around in his splint mail.
go now.
I'm ready. Okay, let's go.
Where are you headed?
We're gonna go back to the
We could probably shortcut it and go back to the other.
where we came out close to the butcher. We're gonna go back in that entrance.
Since we're going by there, do we want to stop by the temple?
Yeah, let's.
We stopped by the temple where we dropped off
Check on
catatonic woman,
Yeah.
just to see how she's doing.
All right. You check in there. The priest tells you, you're the ones who came last night.
Yes. How is she?
She has been returned to her house.
Oh, very good. You found where she lives.
Yeah, she was taken, and the guards have been looking for her for a day now.
Wait, what? Taken?
She was kidnapped.
Oh, I see. Yes, I understand. The timeline's a bit fuzzy.
You did well. You did Lothian's work.
Well, very good. Please give her family our regards.
Of course. And who should I tell gives the regards?
The A-team.
The Avius team.
Of course.
As we walk by that butcher's house, is there a name on it or anything, or is it just
Nope,
like
it was
butcher?
just a sign.
And now it says for sale.
Be our new base of operations. We also need to find out who Chasen is.
That's the
What?
That might be
I'm
the
lost.
butcher. Yeah.
we found a note in the sewer talking about sealing up Chasen's basement.
Oh. Okay. All right.
Well, what other shops and dwellings are around this butcher?
Tons of them. Nothing that stands out as weirdly nefarious, though.
Avius goes next door into the next shop over and
In the orphanage.
Hello there. Yes, hi.
This is a ceramics store.
What beautiful pottery you have there.
Oh, thank you.
I was wondering if you've seen Chasen around lately.
I don't know the name.
Oh, I see. I thought maybe that he was in the neighborhood, but I must be mistaken. By the way, do you,
Smashes a bowl. Are you sure?
Going to keep happening.
By the way, do you know of any good places where I can get a nice cut of meat?
Yes, right next door.
Oh, perfect. Do you know the butcher well? I am very picky about my meats.
Oh yes, he's an excellent butcher. He trims all the fat, always has a great smile. I saw the guard there, though. There might have been a robbery, I think, last night.
Oh dear, that's no good. Oh, I hope he's okay.
Me too. The window was smashed.
Oh, was he a good friend of yours?
No.
Well, what's the butcher's name?
Failil?
With a name like that, no wonder his window got mashed in. Well, thank you very much for your kindness, and next time I need a new bowl, I'll come see you.
Excellent.
I don't think I give the wizard enough credit. That was very clever. All right, so we know we killed the wrong man.
But we did rescue someone.
Aye.
And we never busted out his window.
The door, though.
Yeah, but
No, you did bust out the... No, you didn't. I had that all wrong. I was thinking of the earlier scene.
Okay.
With the vegetables. Sorry.
The scene with the vegetables.
Okay,
The vegetable
all
thing.
So you meant to say the door was supposed to be. Okay. All right.
The door was broken.
Where's that opening over here?
And Olgrim goes around to where the entrance was to that, where we popped up.
You find it. The four of you stand there and you just kind of wait and mill around and wait until all the crowds are kind of moving here and there, and another wagon, just as one wagon goes by.
One of us pop down at a time. So like a wagon goes by and then you see three, and then another one goes by and you see two.
There's two. The wagon goes by, there's one, then another horse and wagon goes by, and there is none, and we will stop there for tonight. And the adventure ends like it started, heading down into the sewers of Taullis. Puck changed shape into a bear and got to dive into a mass of rats. Elmon fired out some devastating shots from his bow, and Olgrim got to go for a relaxing swim. The group took a break from hunting ratmen and rescued a poor woman being held captive by a butcher. They also helped out a destroyed neighborhood that looked to some of them like it may have something to do with the missing item called the Grey Ascent. Thank you, Christopher, Chris, Seth, and Tim, and as always, thank you, listeners, for joining us. We love sharing our adventures with you. Feel free to leave us a comment on Facebook or our website, ingloriousbards.com. We'd love to hear from you. All music has been officially licensed, and if you're interested in the sound effects you heard, check out the great sounds at Sirenscape.com. Will the heroes root out the last of the ratmen in the sewer, and how will they respond to the destruction of the city by spiraling gray magic? Until next time.